Some damage is found on top of that elimination. Now Sayonara.
Ale seva, tak to. Jak jako 13-4. To bych se na to podíval. Terke, pojď!
To continue to rack up these pistol wins for Foot.
And a calm so good here for Foot.
HERNÍ jsou cáble, kamaráde. Reprezentant hlavní tady evropský.
Putting that frenzy to incredible use. Nice one tap there, and the rest of the way through, it is the IGL fragging out, getting on his feet for Foot.
30 let mimochodem, 30 let.
They continue to look so well prepared on this defender side of Fracture.
And when you're not the one playing the Phoenix, getting all of those ult charges over to the Brimstone. Pretty much best case scenario for you. That are the showstoppers where you want them to go. But look at this force by Vitality trying to get off guard. 3 Stingers, a Marshal, and a Sheriff. As well as those full armors, because they're anticipating this Outlaw to be in the hands of Sop.
Yeah, it's a similar idea. They've been looking for some of these advantages.
Oh, here. There's the one shot. The Marshal not necessarily going
to
have weaponry. They will soon find out as Durka has to clear that Prowler, so Stingers are heard. But the potential bad news, can they stem this tide? Yedajay, he says yes. He finds one blind through that smoke.
The kill trip.
Going forward, Valley barely able to hold on to his life, but cleans up Profit, takes him out of tower. Sop is in.
Kamaráde, nevyhrajou tady jakoby Foot proti Vitality, že ne? Jo, Zane.
Upgraded, but the spike is a world away as he looks to reposition.
He's gonna have a lot of time still to work with, though. So,
I think he's probably just gonna try to save this, given the investment.
Well,
we'll look for a little bit more damage, but this is going to be a difficult task.
Potom to NRG by the way, chat. Malem jsem napsal špatný slovíčko na storíčka. Oni se Vitality, yes sir. Nemůj number 1 team actually v celém eventu.
From Vitality, recognizing Yedajay's tendencies, but he repositions right back off of that trip clear into a spot where he can get a freebie through the smoke.
Ten Sop je hrozný abuser jetky, kámo.
He is so comfy on the jet. You know, such a good Neon player. And
NRG
his jet is remarkable. His fearlessness, his aggression. He loves to get in your face.
Dobrý sečil, taky házím takovej.
Up and over and
Sayo Phoenix.
He's doing it all for Foot.
Nevím, jestli mi líbí, kámo, Sayo Phoenix tolik.
Going to be taken.
No, je to meta, no.
This knows that there's going to be a second layer. Does just have to allow for that Phoenix to claim it, but here comes the judge.
To jsou táble, kámo. To co? Oni forsovali Vitality a prohráli Force? Kámo. Kámo. Tragedy. Tragedy.
And that's going to be Foot going up 3-0. A rough start here on the attacker side for Vitality. Again, you got to start already thinking here as Vitality about maybe an early timeout, maybe talking about how you want to handle this Cypher util, because it's got to come.
A udělali jsme revesko ze včerejší, no, Jack udělal revesko ze včerejší draw show.
That's all you needed. Yeah. Job done.
Hry furt lepší pocit než hry Vitality. Vitality prostě se snaží fitnou metu, no já nevím, kámo. Kdyby ta hra byla víc systematická, tak vyhráme Vitality all the way, kurva.
Really push up. Gonna have player there just yet. Spot mode.
Back the away very quickly, clears the Prowler. Tucks back under sight, going for that reload. Meanwhile, Zeus has been spotted. Durka catching a glimpse, quick entry up and over the top, swings in, but Zeus has it.
Kámo, nevyhraju další fullback, že ne? Ještě dám tady stejčku, žobleb, chleb. Čau, Rax, čau, jde. První mapu vyhráli Vitality 13-11, druhou mapu dostali Stomp. Jak jako Stomp.
Prowler will scout out Chronicle. Crystalli cannot win the fight.
Nice.
Just Yedajay now.
Come on!
That Spectre to try to pull off a 1v3. Vitality looking very well slated to get themselves on the board.
Easy cleanup. Yeah, this is almost a disaster for Vitality. It felt for a moment there that it was going to be Foot going up 4-0. I mean, this is crazy work from Zeus. then you have that ult, and Sociable even tries to get into it a little bit, but that Judge nerf, I think, hurting him a little bit there. Sayonara, clean with the final.
Pod mají na lidské heaven, tam jde nic. Dáme od review chat na Kicku. Dáme od review na Kicku potom. Někdy. Já potřebuji ty zápasy projít zpětně, no, potom. Strašně moc věcí, kam se jako děje. Někdy přijde mi nejškleba, ale říkal včera, jsme volali, kámo, chillovali v noci, že se pak bude koukat, takže dojde. Takže až dojde, tak dojde, kámo. Pak napíše. Všem takhle hrajou furt ty. Takhle hrajou furt ty mrděnky. Pokud teda nějaký smoke na spamování zdyš, vidíte to?
The layers are there for Vitality, keeping the trades going in their favor, maintaining these player advantages. Stolly will go for a quick little reposition. Spike being assessed. Jumpy can now get it planted into the corner, and things do end up.
Mám storíčka, že sorry, už kontrolu tady se tady říkám, ale.
Still do have that orbital strike, but Chronicle will just lurk his way back in through Sands, cleans up J and suddenly Vitality.
Tak, všechno doděláno, jdeme koukat klidu už.
That kind of cheeky setup, they get the quick kill. See this, and there's just two players there, and Sop not ready for it.
Jak chci ten profek. Už hezky. Tak oni kámo tam hrajou double duel, ani všechno píkují jak prasata, vole Barte, to je prostě... Disgusting, ty play jenom prostě disgusting. Ušijou všechno, kámo. Čum zase pušu, jako to je frech. Nevím, jestli mi líbí, kámo, ty jerseys, nebo jakože actually na Sajovi se mi ta jersey líbí. Jak actually cvičí, vole. A na ostatních ta jersey vypadá kurva úplně divně, ne? Nevím, proběh má mikinu radši, nebo co to je, vole.
Planted at. Not feeling safe enough to take the rope across those, so this is going to be a very long re-wrap from them, and Durka is in
pole. To má buď úplně goated, kámo, Genetics, anebo tady chodí 5krát týdnu do gymu. Vy jste viděli nějaký rozhovory s tím, kámo. Profek 1v3 s ultinkou. Oh!
He might have just won the round.
Hello!
Too long. He's absolutely biffed it. He will kill him from beyond the grave, but it's a MasterCard Thrifty. That's Crystalli just sticks in a fuse.
Oh my goodness. Seen this with these teams before.
Čekaj, to řeknu, ale reálně bavítková furt je prostě jak chce vřát něco.
And this round
jedno jestli jdeš nebo tak seš prostě zoomer, kámo, 50 letý. To je sračka. To je sračka, kámo. Hra se tak nehraje do píči. Jediný proč to funguje, protože hra to tak nadizajnoval, tu je to hovno aktuální. Kde prostě nemáš utility, do kterých se může týpek chytnout a umřít. What? To není jeden kill jako?
Quick on that one, but Sociable will still fall. Push forward into the smoke. Yelp trying to find anything here, but it's going to be Durka. Counter spring, able to find Zeus. Vitality rallying right back into this.
Here.
Double face in, he's still going to be good for a kill. Finds the full HP player as well, so Crystalli dead. Meanwhile, lurk forward from J.
Follow, kámo.
Needs a hell of a lot more, he can't get it.
Oh, zabil z Bemejnu,
flank in from Chronicle, and now the spot out onto Sop. Trying to work his way back through the sewer, but this is looking like a nigh impossible task as Profik will be ready for the push. And the swing, Vitality once again.
A řekl bych, že Vitality budou víc komfortem na defendu, než na ataku.
Just absolutely wild. I mean, the confidence here, though, from Vitality, knowing they have that showstopper, so they can just bully their way forward towards the site. Sure, they don't get a kill for it, but they get a lot of space off the back of that.
Nevím, jestli mi líbí Phoenix na atak.
Everybody coordinating well to make sure.
Jo, Alešku, what's up?
And it's going to be foot back on another thrifty, but this time no ults to rely on. Try to give you that extra little
Koukat nebo
advantage.
co?
Going to be the outlaw for Durka. Try to nullify.
Taky jsem si myslel, že naložím kámo vitality, ale nakonec jsem si řekl, že ještě nejsem tak locked in na ten event, že až budu deeper, tak to budu analyzovat.
Starting to feel like maybe the foot plans are coming a little bit unraveled. They're going to clear a little bit of util over
Čau,
there.
Piko. Sajo 2.6, kámo, co to je? Proč má tečku, kámo, Sajo? 7K? To jsou drobný pro tebe. Mě strašně vadí, jak to je lanka. Všichni hrajou fantomy, nebo všichni. Někteří lidi hrajou fantomy, kteří normálně fantomy nehrajou. Třeba Sajo prostě nehraje nikdy fantom, ale jak má jedna ping, tak hraje fantom. Tak teda na TeamSpeak, ne, Alešku? To máš emoce trošku, ale jenom trošku.
This is just great util usage from
Vitality.
The Prowler to clear one. Able to just deal with players in great places.
Prodělá všechno, jenom ne Valorant.
From Durka put Sop in a really uncomfortable spot. And they're just
Profek 11, ale pozor.
given that space to set up that crunch. So let's see if Foot has the counter.
Pozor.
But it's a glass cannon.
Pozor.
Not gonna have any armor behind it. Crystalli does have his ult. So do Kron and Sayonara. They're looking for a little bit of contact here. Let's see if they rip that Phoenix ult. Just try to brute force their way through.
Blaze wall set up. Spam looking to try to fish out this Phoenix, and he will end up getting snapped.
Kolik sežral utility, ale...
Crystalli denying that entry onto the site. Cam still being watched. The Nightfall now going to be invested, connecting onto two.
To byl fake, jakoby? To byl fake fakeu. Já to nevnímám tolik, ale připadlo mi to, že to je fake fakeu. Je nová meta, chat. Dělá strašně týmu teďko. Strašně týmu na Vadis dělají fake fakeu. Profek, co dal jako. Co dal Profek, kámo. Nemají souvala, dám mu za jedna u toho, co to je, jako.
Hoping to spare his blushes from the previous one. And he has been electric with the kills. Absolutely instrumental there.
Že se na fulí jak prase, ale...
Find that first kill and then just holding the line for the double. Incredible work. And the funny thing about this round was Foot was fully anticipating that off of that back after the clear of the
Agresor.
that it was going to be a reclear, a wrap to the other side, so they were already positioning pieces.
Jo, Pavlo, to znám, tady snáším, kámo. Já si plánuju, včera jsem si plánoval, že přijdu prostě na druhou hru, bla bla bla. Kámo, Primi vole dal 2 kola za 2 mapy, jako. Sajo je nejvíc, kámo. Mimo svoji kůži mi přijde, vole. Jsou cáble, tomu týpku je 30 prostě, vole. A to je jeho první international, byli z BBL. Nebo z Navy. Nebyl, ne? Jsou cábl, vole. Já pamatuju, ale to je, kámo, to ten senior kamarád je moje, jako to. Moje naděje, vole, týpkově 30. Poprý do teďka tam je 28. A ty ve 30 tady kamaráde fajtí s titánama, vole, to je crazy, jako. To je crazy. Jsou cábl, vole, prostě. Já bych to klidně stihl hrát radši dřív než v 30, kámo, ale respektuju to. A zároveň mi a Minimu vyhrožoval, vole, že nás stříská a říkala Minimu, že se na ní těší v aréně. Pohodě, týpek. Baky po nerfu. Ty se dobře zhulil, týpek. Čum kolik mu dal? Čum kolik dal Chroniklovi? Čum kolik mu dal, ty kokote, mu dal za 30. To je zhulenec, ty vole. Jako kamera, jako Bucky poderfuje čistý troll. Čistý, kámo. Když šerif stojí stejně. Banditka, kámo, je legit lepší jak Bucky. A o dost levnější už. Nevadí, kámo. On sedí tam, chat, důležitý je zmínit, že on sedí tam. A kde sedíme my? Kamaráde, víš, kde sedíme? Uchálky, jak zmrt. Minulý rok byl poprvé na té rednáčci. Zbýval nebo znavy? Na jaké akci, jako na International?
Social will have it a backpedal away. Ball connecting. Using that stim beacon to get himself out towards safe. They know exactly where he's at, so Showstopper serves up an easy kill. Now their own orbital strike. Hold him to clear out that tower. Pushes Yedijay down towards bench, and Chronicle is basting on them.
Beasting. 16 profek, kámo. Si hraje na kejka. Chat, fun fact, s profkem jsme hráli nějaké české turnaje, jestli pamatuju. Nebo nějaké turnaje jsme hrál s profkem. Pamatuju, že ho mini přitah, kámo, nějaký turnaj.
Knows that their economy is down in the dumps. They need everything that they could possibly get, so he will just go for the save and retain this weapon.
MA z BBL. A tohle je jeho první International, Soucábla. Soucábl poprvé na International.
I mean, they're so ready for this aggressive play from Foot. Look at where those blue X's are on the map. They are pushed out.
Viděl jsem staty, Palo, neviděl jsem tu hru, ale viděl jsem staty.
With grace. Still though, I'm already looking towards this next round for.
Jsem včera na rankeru, kamaráda napodoboval.
Pull off a thrifty, it was a little bit wild. You're gonna have some real heavy hitting ults potentially coming into this round. You already have this.
No, byl jsem na procházce. Byl jsem na procházce tady. Po městě. A jaká je šance, kámo, že potkám, kámo, na půl hodiny nešlo projít. Jaká je šance, že potkám kousek od svého baráku dvě ex spolužačky svoje? Ahoj, Niko. Nevězdí mě na mě koukali třeba. Jsme plně nevěděli o piči. Tam se mě mají zaškodulkovat, jak mám ty brýle.
Continues to get closer and closer to pushing up onto the site. The Showstopper still going to be there. Chronicle still waiting for this flag. And Sop, I think, is going to be none the wiser to this. If he's able to get the catch, that would be monstrous. But the footsteps, he's going to start hearing these.
No tohle mega vysoká.
Yappy swinging the corner. There's the tap. The blade's going to be pulled, and he will get.
Mega vysoká. Ale kámo, oni nejsou moje spolužačky 8 let. Trofo.
But they're leaving Sayonara on the other side of the map. I don't feel like this is a full commit from Vitality just yet.
They get the Showstopper out. And that is absolutely massive.
Nestalo se mi to poprvé, kámo, za těch 8 let teda. Viděli reklamu na Gillette? Myslíš, že si oholili šerifa? Na moje doporučení, jako je jsou, ale... Ale sám naraje online. Co říká, já by mě zajímá, co říká. Je mega agresivní. Jaká finta od Chronicla. Tohle má perfect score? Co říká, mě to neukážou prostě. Nechce to tak tyknout, kámo, ale podle mě ten Phoenix je lepší na defendu, nebo jakože příjemnější, vole. Máš lepší deflection na defendu, než na ataku určitě. Ale na té mapě, kámo, ještě takeuješ space za defend, takže bude farmit orby furt za defend. To je vibe, kámo, docela tohle.
We go now into the second half, this final map between Foot and Vitality. The pressure certainly building up for them. It was such a fantastic.
Kurva, jak se jmenuje doporučení, kurva.
6 in a row.
Kurva.
6 in a row for Vitality to close out that half. So the confidence is there. Profik is out of control right now. 17-3. Going into a defender's side, Brimstone. Got to feel like he can continue to carry the weight here for Vitality potentially. This pistol, they've been so good for Foot this series so far. They've won the bulk of them, all but one. Is Vitality going to be able to find another in a pivotal moment? Be able to send themselves into playoffs as that first team through.
Tak.
Just have to wait and see. Foot, I want to see some more coordination here. It
On
looked like
feel
that was
like,
starting to fall
feel like,
as that
feel
half
like.
went on. Some of that great trading, some of that great coordination, that push and pull they have with those double duelists just didn't seem to be there. They were trying to make some isolated individual plays at times, and it was getting shut right down by Vitality.
Here we go, the barrier's dropping, and Yabi gonna take that first contact. It's gonna be good for a kill, but
Get him!
Foot still able to trade it up.
Jonesy.
Suffered on the Sop. Back down to 45 is Sayonara. Maybe caught off guard here, trying to align the shots, but J does manage to come out on top.
Můj spolužák už řídí autobus ve 21 letech. Je dedicated, kámo. Měl si pravdu, Barte, s těma pistolkami mimochodem. NRG proti Prodigy, to bude opět zápas. Jako je to zase regional zápas, ale... Ale... Těším se na to taky, no. To dojebal Chronicle strašně, actually. To dojebal Chronicle, kámo, tu poslední část. On věděl, sociable, že na sajtu jen jeden člověk, že ten tap udělal stejný člověk, co spamuje, takže nemusel dělat nic prostě. Kdyby tapnul, počkal pár vteřin a potom začal spamovat, kámo, tak podle něj nachytal týpka vzadu s jedním.
You're gonna find him there. That's fine. I don't see any buy up this time from Vitality. Just moving over to the defense side, will just be the bandit. Yeah, just the bandit. So we'll see. That's really nice for Foot. Getting that orbital strike again. Fast tracked a little bit.
No, že tak se dělají staty, kámo, jak to udělal Chronicle.
They're just gonna feed him to sociable. They're gonna work the map a little bit more here or not.
Camera out. Clean tap from J. Sayonara, just another ult charge gained in death. Dirk at the same time riding the rope. He's going to try to get a catch here onto this enemy Cypher. And he will be able to just upgrade over to the ghost. Meanwhile, Yappy trying to find a time.
Před týdnem jsem si nějak, kámo, hnul s vazama v lopti. Dneska jsem se probudil, finally. A nebolí mě ruka, vole. Big. Big good day. Zpátky. Gym modu. NT. No pome, ale teďko. Social bude jeden od ultiny, by the way. Jorion. Co má tetovačky na ruce, viděl jsem správně. To mi jakže přijde nevkusný, kam, jakože málo který tetovačky se mi nelíbí na lidech. A tuhle ty random handpoky, ty random handpoky, kámo, přes ruce, jak má soudcábl, kámo, zrovna jedný z těch, co se nelíbí. To kamarádem si musí nechat předělat, no celý rukav, nebo nevím, jaký je fix na to. Musíte nechat, vole, delete. Vypadá, kdybys byl špinavej, kámo. To je jedno. Tak jsme prohráli bonus, by the way. Tenisový loket. Ne, kamo, zvedal jsem se ze židle. A jakoby opřel jsem se o ruce, že se zvednu přes ruce. Chápeš, celý tělo, že si zvednu jako o pirátka. No, opřel jsem se o tu ruku kamaráde a tam hnulo se a... Jako tohle je timeout angle. Jako odehraju eko a potom eko plně přijde timeout. Jak se typl.
The other in tower, the time starting to bleed out. And there's a timing. Found for J, swinging in.
No, ale jakože futka krásně abuzujou tu hru. Si všimni, kámo, oni first, second, full executou Bčku do Cyphera. A cože je to Cypher? Cypher je, kamaráde, tu je tej metě, tak Warfless. Tak si bude buff, kámo, ležit. Jo, kámo, prostě Cypher, no a já neberu ni Cyphera jak Sentinela. Pořádně, to je, kámo, info, vole, postavička, to je vlastní role, ty kokot. Přijde mi, kámo, že hrají Killjoy trochu, že je rozdíl mezi Sentinelama. Normálně máš Vice, Deadlock, jeden Sage, jsou jeden typ Sentinelů, a Cypher, Killjoy jsou jaký druhý typ Sentinelů, kámo. To jsou prostě info Sentinelové, kámo. Cypher je full info Sentinel, jako. To není jako heavy holder postavička, no. Nebo jako musíš prostě zahrát tak absolutní beast kolem těch cage, kamarád, absolutní beast. Jo, je mega slabý Cypher. A zároveň všichni hrajou, protože to info má dobrý, ale prostě já don't know.
Kron will get an early warning with his cam, so Vitality can get over there pretty.
Třeba nalaz jsem tu, kámo.
Doesn't look like they're gonna make the move.
Je docela silný, bych řekl, že tam zrovna je do těch trap se chytíš a než jí popneš, tak dostaneš wallbang, protože ta mapa je papírová, blablabla. A jsou tam dobrý ty trapy, kámo, jak jsou dlouhý. A tady na Flickru, kámo, se jako kde. Kde se tady chytíš a dostaneš wallbang, jako kde.
Shots through the smoke, some damage going to be suffered by Sop, but still alive and well. Some decent youth, he'll try to create some angles here to get this going. Paint Shell is going to be invested straight up onto the site. Sociable still tucked in at bench, waiting for this push to come in.
Nic, timeout. A po timeoutu pushujeme jak beasty, kámo. Timeout a po timeoutu pushujeme B main.
Really sturdy stuff and great calling from Sociable to not fall for Vitality's trap. They lose the one player. And this is why you have those sentinels out on the peripheries of the map to alert you to when there might be some open space somewhere else. So that's a tough one to read because it's Kron who gets the kill. It's the Cyphers. You don't know if he's on his own. You don't know if he's kind of on that A site just trying to lock it down by himself. It's a really good one. And again, a hot attacker side start for Foot.
Dement, nebo nebyl ani jeden timeout od Vitality ještě? Nebo jsem ho, vole, full vytěsnil a už byl předtím. Dobrý reveal. Dobrý reveal, kámo, oni tomu nevěří, čum. On hodil reveal a Derka se ani nehnul, vole. Jsem fanoušek toho revealu, kámo, možná lepší ten, jak hodíš před main a je tam rovně, jakoby. Ten mega hitter toho, co dělají na Ačku, ale už mají Phoenixe na Bčku, takže... Já nemám šošony, ale Alešek tam šel all in. A nechce se mnou na team speed. To smutný.
Are going to be cleared out. 40 seconds remaining in the round. The up and over going through from Stop, and he's going to be shut down. Chronicles into the 5-2. Both duels down.
Vidíš?
Getting a piece of the pie as Crystalli will fall.
Takhle musí zahrát Cypher.
But he's managed to slip the net, tucking back over towards Canteen.
Nejslabší vitality, babica Jirka.
Some further away, Durka at the same time joining in on this south side.
Nevím, podle mě vitality nemají zrovna nějaký slabý článek. V některých mapách se mi nelíbil prvkovo decision making, ale...
10 seconds remaining. And completely surrounded. Durka dialed in on the angle. Will get vitality back into.
Jsi viděl Aleška? Ty jsi viděl Aleška tam?
That's exactly what you want to see from Kron. He is having a phenomenal map himself. 17 kills on the board. And the way he holds this down.
Oh, dobrý decision making. Mega dobrý decision making, kámo.
Insane individual.
Byl split second decision making, kámo.
They have enough map control here that they can read this pretty well. Like you said, Zainor gets into place early.
Jak má Sayo -2. Chroustali má 3 killy, viděl jsem správně? Jako to, že koukám na Chroustaliho na Masters. Když kamaráde ho s kámošema používáme 2 roky na rankedu v kuse jako pisoár, je crazy, vole. Jako fakt je to crazy. Ale každý dostane svou chance a oni prostě takenou za pačasy, no. Jako který, Pablo, jako stejný trail? Tohle je velice klíčové koleso, ale je to basically 2v1, protože Chroustali žije, takže all good. Národ zombíků. Zombs Nation. Dobré automatický překlad, ne?
What a wild round already. Can't believe this is into a 2v2 now.
On streamu je Zombs?
Take the orb, get the plant, would have the nightfall online, but it looks like they just want to try to get situated before any kind of rotations can quickly come in for vitality.
Mně se prostě automaticky překládá celý YouTube chat, Pablo, no je to actually mega annoying.
Spike now. Planted for foot.
Kámo, počkej, co dělaj?
Vitality, they have to be giving that a consideration. Is there a flank? Did they just send the planter by themselves?
To prohráli, kámo. Alešku, to prohráli jako tohle kolo. Čím jak dlouho jim trvá jenom se dostat na CT. Tak, to je Jover jako Jirka Babica.
Just need to try to not give him the angles. He's quickly storming his way towards Yedajay, but Yedajay turns back and shuts him down. 9-9. But again,
on je prostě multimilionář, jo, Pablo?
This is a hot start. The duelist this time immediately dealing.
Jo, Barte, po 30, kámo, to taky rozjedem. Všechno možný, jenom na hraní Valorant.
Vitality only commits a couple players there.
Kdyby si jezdil na M8.
Full forces and they're just overwhelmed.
Glyph je dobrý chlap.
For a second there you believe.
Ale prostě Prox je silnější shooter, no. Jsou nemocní, jako jsou, kámo, co to bylo za paranoidní cypher kameru, kamaráde. To ani na rankeru bych nedal kameru, abych to prostě jenom tak jako swingnul, ale on tam hodí kameru. Kterou mohl hodit třeba ten sen, vole. Čum, jak je smutný z toho.
Roughness in the purchase and ults at the moment eluding them. They're one away from a nightfall, one away from an orbital strike, but you've got that showstopper still in the back pocket for Zeus, their own orbital, and Crystalli nearly has a nightfall of his own. So right now it feels like Foot coming into this decently favored. What's Zeus doing here? It's going to be the outlaw for Sop at the end.
Yeah, so that means 3 players, including Durka with the op, are going to be vulnerable.
To je fakt rakovina, kámo, ten překlad nejde mi vypnout prostě. 18-9 okrajů. Tady učím kamaráde nový slovíčka, jako, že
early start to that round, so interesting for Vitality, where they gave up space at Dish. Now they're going to try to fight for it again, but Foot never even explored this part of the map in the previous round.
It's just going to be this high-low, but Crystalli has overall been pretty good about sending the Prowlers here. Try to get that scout, but it looks like, are they just going to have Sop swing into this one? No, Prowler will lead the charge.
Perfektně mal kámo 16-3, takovýho.
Yeah, that's two guns, so
Má na defendu
gotta remember
2-6.
with the boom bot here, you do not want to overcommit and just get mowed down. But look at how Vitality's setting up. Look how many players are right underneath drop. Oh, they don't commit. Okay.
They're pushing forward on this. At least the two of them are.
Come on, Stefan!
Wanting to maybe just try to re-clear this position, but you don't have the prowler, so it does become a risk. For now, we'll just silently wait in that smoke, but Foot, they have a
Další
back
byl
in
zajímavý
the
teda
area.
kamaráde na
So much of this is that information game, that back and forth.
And they're getting plenty of it now. There's no counter scale forward from Yedajay to try to draw attention.
Okrajový kámen.
So this does allow for Vitality to start believing that this is just fully going to be a B hit.
Tak který?
Forward trip has to be cleared out. Zeus, however, just bounds up in the tower. He's able to displace Chronicle, finding that kill, the orbital strike, ensuring that there's no one else in position. Meanwhile, Tripwire able to get the spot out on the two players on the approach. Sociable is going to have to be the one paying attention to that as Sayonara. Leads forward into the smoke, the push in, and he will have him caught.
Sayo!
Zeus, however, quickly trades it back. Maintained the player advantage for Foot.
Tohle jak by řekl Martin Vara na klíčový koloso opět. Dobrý půl. Záda! Pičo, lidé si svý záda! Ano. Je tu JJ, moje máma. Ano. Oh! Derky vždycky myslel za dva! Vysral! A vysral po druhé! A vysral po třetí! Nebo co to bylo? Když prozveduje mate, kdo půjde místo něj v EP? A proč si myslíš, že jsem včera hrál toho Omena na Lotusu?
Finds huge kills there to keep Foot pinned off of him. Just sociable.
It is a 2v4.
It is again. This time Vitality gets it to go.
Ne, ale kámo, řekni mi. Ne, teď mi reálně řekni, Pablo. Z jakého jazyku? Alexík úhoří pro každého, tak si říkám. Co kurva? Ale jedem. Kámo, jak to vypnu? Jak to vypnu? Okamžitě to si vypnu. Já vždycky musím najet myšku, abych viděl, co jste napsali. Tak mi to vadí, kámo. Nice. Zkušenosti proti Turkům, nejdísek, musí dodžovat. BOOM! Serke! Easy. Easy, Alšku, easy.
It was a pivotal round because of the economies of both of these teams. A few players on each side very, very weak. And so for Foot, it's going to be a little bit shaky coming into the next one. There's still a little bit of money available for few players, but Sayonara there, taking that early contact. Prophet just crouching, holding the line at the door, buying that time. Yampi as well, not overstaying his welcome, has learned his lessons from some of the early struggles.
Musí být tak skvělý, kámo, hrát s Zerkem.
Myslím, že ho tam můžeme vidět na kameře, tak kdyby si boxoval.
Ale jsem dlouho neviděl, kámo. Tomasos, děkujeme za podporu streamu. Za! Děkuju. Kde už na letišti, kamaráde? Za!
Kind of a great round for Vitality in terms of just they're starting to push out a little bit on the map. They're constantly
Píšu na Google AI, kámo. Jak vypnout
So as Foot, you got to talk about maybe we got to try other content points on the map. Maybe we can work the map a little bit more to keep Vitality a little bit off guard. We can play a little bit of ante like we saw with Vitality in their attacker side, where you kind of wait it out, see if you can get them to overstep their ground a little bit. And yeah, the economy here just not great for Foot. One player could afford a rifle, sociable.
Ohnčuju klidně ten ikonku nastavení ikona ozubeného kola. To je krásný, vole, a tady ozubený kolo nikde nemám.
Vitality up to match point, but Foot has already worked a little bit of magic in the Thrifties. See if they can get one here when they need it most.
It'd be monstrous for them. Where's that operator? An ever-present consideration for them. Trying to figure out where the hell is Durka.
This is a full B read from the beginning for Vitality, but this is just a scoop of the orb early. 4 foot.
Zeus is 2 charges away from having that showstopper, but Chronicle, he might just be able to make this an absolute nightmare for them. Himself tucked away over at bench, and is this going to be any consideration? The answer is absolutely not. He's going to play it patiently. Oh my God, Chronicle!
Jak jenom za 2. Jak jenom za 2.
But that just might be enough damage dealt. The jump across the shot going to be late. Durka able to reposition, gets himself to canteen. Trying to go for that recheck, but Showstopper doesn't get the
What? Co dělá Sayo? Kamaráde, stresíky pracujou, ale ne? Stresíky pracujou.
Pushes them forward. A gun collected, a 2v2. And how in the hell have Foot gotten it to this position? Swoop out down, Crystali will be taken down, and Yetajay has to do it all. Finds the first immediately.
Nechtěl bych klačovat 1v1 na stage, viď?
Slotting up in the tower, but it's just a matter of time before Durka will get the assessment, will have the read, taps it, is dialed in. Yetajay, does he bite the bait?
On gambluje, kámo.
Plays it wisely.
Jak jako gambluje tu Jay.
Another tap, a swap of the gun, and now the scale forward. Durka thinking that he's been re-wrapped on. But Yetajay just continues to not.
Zase gambluje?
He's not sticking it. Rides the rope back down again, and Durka will just look to escape.
What?
Try to retain the operator, and Yetajay claims him as the spike erupts. That is a monstrous Red Bull clutch be found. Foot once again 1 round away.
What a recovery here for Foot. You lose 2 players early.
Nějaký anti-kámo na Derkeho, nebo jak si můžeš dovolit, kámo, 2krát gamble no genestikuje, 2krát. On se produ po druhý, jako jednou ještě chápu, ale 2krát, kámo. Nešlo to prohrát, Alešku. Aha, to je pravda, Alešku, oni vlastně můžou zase dělat metagaming. Oni vlastně dělali metagaming, ty kokote. No jasně. Kámo. A mu to ukazoval myšku. On se na něj volně podíval sám, ty kokote, a mu ukázal myšku. On se sám, kámo, na to, vole, nasničoval, ne? Mu ukazoval, kámo, že hejbe myškou. Kámo. Bych se podíval na ten klač znova a podíval se na Etujovo oči, kámo, kam se dívá. Ne, přísám jsem v životě neviděl 2krát gamble note, že nestykne. 2krát.
They up the pace, they catch but completely unawares, and now they're up to match point.
I love the calling today here from Yampi. He's had a couple rounds where he's completely fooled Foot, and this is another one. Get that early flash out, tons of value there for the field.
Na zelený, až dohrajou NRG. Jo, tam vidíš úplně kompletka, kámo, čemu vidíš kompletka, jestli jebe nebo nehebe rukou. Je to úplně full open, kámo, to už jim minule někdo psal, by the way. A tam dají nějaký, kámo, z bariéry do píči na ten stůl. On jim to Jampi udělal taky? Bartos? Byla tam zábrana Pablo kdysi, no? A na těch regional stagech je zábrana. Aspoň si pamatuju. Nice shot. Co dal Derke? Hotovo, chroustali kamaráde chodící Varda.
Crystalli needing to find three. Durka down to a sliver. Time starting to be on his side. Swings out.
Hotovo.
Foot plant close, but Vitality stand taller. 13 to 10, 2 to 1. They're going to the playoffs.
What a recovery here for Vitality after getting absolutely bodied on Haven and going to Fracture, a map that they have struggled on. They have had some rough games. They have lost to this foot team here this year. This time around,
Vypadají solid.
are in control.
Nedokážu říct, kámo, z tohle zápasu, jakože individuálně vypadá Derke dobře, kámo, no. Zbytek se mi moc nelíbil. Já jsem měl tady jednu mapu, takže možná předchozí mapy byl.
Going the way of Vitality and up costing Foot dearly, both on Fracture as well as on that Pearl. Both of those maps were incredibly winnable for this team. Have to suspect that that is going to be
nastavení YouTube to mám, to překládání.
ready to prepare for whoever their next opponent is going to be. But for Vitality, they get to take a breather. Playoffs is secured. We will be seeing a hell of a lot more of this team here in Masters London.
And I doubt anyone's going to want to play him. You would think that this is going to be the last team picked as we go into those playoffs. The clutches in particular today, again for Vitality. I mean, the experience, the tenure, the firepower, the brains on this team are finally starting to show that potential that we all thought they had at the beginning of the year.
I see Vitality playing the way that they did in those two maps. You know, Haven's definitely some things to still be worked on. And I just feel like Paper Rex are going to potentially do the dumbest thing. Play against them. Time will tell. We'll see who's going to be able to make it through. But for now, let's send it down and hear from Vitality in the Verizon post-match interview.
This is a very popular man. The Vitality fans have turned out today. Chronicle, I'm not going to photobomb, but I would love to talk to you. How relieved are you to have finished that win?
A co to máme za... Co to máme za interview?
I know by myself, especially against this team in 2024, I had rough losses against them. But yeah, right now we secured playoffs. Like we are going super great, I would say. Maybe some teams are scared of us as well. We are doing great.
It got a bit scary for you guys at times.
Klikněte okně chatu, klikněte na ikonku nastavení. Ikona ozubeného kola. Kde je tady nějaký ozubený kolo? Nevidím tady ozubený kolo.
Like, I mean, that one additional round, like, could went us into overtimes. Like, if we, I don't know, had bad economy or something else. I mean, you know, I can discuss for 10,000 years what if, but it doesn't matter. This 1v2 helped us, and I'm happy with that.
You have qualified for playoffs, so congratulations on that one. But what does this Vitality need to
Pokud
do now
streamujete,
to actually be a team?
ikon ozbeného kola pro překlad chybí záměrně. Aha!
Like coming to the playoffs as maximum as possible. Like we will try to do our best to fix up all those mistakes, especially we had on Haven. And yeah, we will see.
We will see. Thank you so much, Chronicle. Thank you.
Google Chrome. Google Chrome. Mějte pravým tlačítkem myši kamkoliv do stránky chatu a zvolte zobrazit původní stránku. Typně klikněte na ikonku Google překladače v adresním řádku a zvolte nikdy nepřekládat. To jsem dělal, kam. Huh?
Hey! What is this city? Hey! All of you! Stop! Where are you looking? Stop! Bro! Maybe change your nickname to fucking Water!
What?
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up here. It all started when I got to the FIFA World Cup, and wow, thousands of Verizon customers.
Oh, you got the free Verizon tickets too?
No, I'm with amazing seats.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Budeme na své food mixture a fotí se se Zampim.
David Beckham.
A Verizon customer.
This used to be for players. Now it's for Verizon
Goatsy.
customers. No one gets you closer. Only on Verizon.
In esports, legendary moments demand speed.
Tomás, dneska vyšlo videjko. Tady na kanále, můžeš se mrknout, o čem tam mluví.
Technology brings it to life. Every frame, every stat, every decisive play. In partnership
Ty
with the
pičo.
Champions Tour, we're driving digital
Mám to
innovation that
vypnuté.
empowers the esports ecosystem to keep expanding.
Na
So players can
stránce.
focus on the game and
Ale-
fans can focus on the moment.
Samo se mi to překládá, pičo! V nevyskakovacím okně. Já měl stejný problém tady, ukáž video. Nějaký int měl stejný problém, ukáž?
YouTube introduced another auto-translation feature no one asked for and enabled it by...
Ne asi, kámo, do piči, nikdo se o to neprosil, ty vole. Čo?
YouTube introduced another auto-translation feature no one asked for and enabled it by default with no obvious way to disable it.
No.
This time, it's automatic
takhle to mám,
translation
kámo.
of comments left in your live stream chat. They are translated into whatever
AI
language they
in.
need to be set to, even if your audience
Renatka
mostly speaks
Ramov.
another language. You can still see the original comment by hovering your mouse over a particular message, which is nearly impossible if you stream gameplay, for example. There is a way to turn it off. It's easy if you stream from mobile. There's literally just one tap you need to make in the chat filter. On desktop, it's a bit more convoluted. What you need to open is the YouTube Studio website, then go to Content and select the Live tab. Some people will say you need to go to Live Control Room. No, that's the wrong place. Do not edit the stream or click on the 3 dots. What you actually need to do is click on the stream title. It can be a planned future stream or your current live one, it doesn't matter. From there, go to Customization. Under Stream Customization, find the Live Chat section, then untick Live Chat Translation, and don't forget to click Save. That's how you disable automatic translation. The problem is that you have to disable it every time you start a stream. At least at the moment I'm making this video. There is no way to make this setting the default for all future streams. You can set it up for scheduled streams and reuse the correct stream key and details, but that's such a hassle. Just remember to untick this every time you start a stream. That's it.
Zmrdí!
I'm the god of YouTube. Like, subscribe.
Napište teďko nějakou to, co psal předtím Aleček, aby to přeložilo do úhoře. Tady to ještě bylo, než jsem to zapl. Pablo napsal hlupák do pice. A teď jsem to zapl tady. A vypadá to, že jsme pohodě. Nice, kámo.
Similar story to the upper bracket semi-final that we saw in EMEA. It's really just
I'm so happy right now.
Doing EMEA things by pushing it to a third map and having that back and forth.
I'm so happy right now.
Surprising for you, so maybe you'll be a little bit surprised in match 2 of today. We got a big
A kde jsou, kámo, naše queens, co vždycky jsou na těch streamech?
versus LEV. Now we saw them face off in an EWC qualifier not too long ago where NRG did win 2-0. In fact, LEV haven't been beating NRG since 2024, but it was a very different roster.
Yeah, very different roster, but I do think that NRG are coming in stylistically as a favor. I think that LEV are a team that don't like the rematches. Coach Owner was saying it when they played G2 in the final, that they weren't comfortable with the fact that G2 could have changed a lot of stuff. They usually don't change things. And they're a very prep-heavy team, going to bring new ideas today.
Now, King is very experienced playing against NRG, and we spoke to him yesterday. Here are a few things he had to say about the match today.
It's crazy. I never saw this coming. Like, I guess I saw maybe we could have played NRG, but all regions, like, it's crazy.
Would you have preferred to play a different region?
I mean, yeah, it's way funner to face other playstyles, other teams, and
Teď
I
mě
played
nos.
NRG the whole time. So.
Bez klobouku, boss.
Who would you have wanted to play if you could?
Sorry?
Who have you wanted to play in this Swiss stage if you could?
I mean, any European teams only.
Come on, Josh.
with Vitality or Food. It would have been fun.
Is there a reason why you'd want to place one of the European teams?
Not really, just because as I said, I played NRG so much already, and I mean, I don't want to see them again. I think it's gonna be a lot of. Both of us know each other a lot. We have a lot of how we play. We know we have anti on each other team, so it's gonna be a lot of preparation. As soon as we get to the hotel, we're gonna.
Nevím, Tomáši, kámo, taky by to zajímalo.
Of course, like re-see what we had against him on EWC, so it's just gonna be a.
Já to objednával, kámo, z konkurenční stránky. Porazili jednou z 9 matchupů. Já proč Kicku vypadá jak svůj vlastní fotr z minulého roku mimochodem? Tomhle chlapově je stejně jako mě, by the way. Máme úplně stejnou headline. No. Je mi rostly fousy, kámo, tak vypadám jak on. Mě to vyhrál NRG na 100%, kámo, ne?
Honestly, because we lost to them, we learned how they play. We got a grip on the stuff.
Reálně doufám, že vyhrál NRG, protože Aleškovo tady tam.
We were cooking some stuff.
So the recent encounter blessing.
No, že vyhrál NRG, protože basically. To znamená, čím díl hraješ, tím víc zkušenej jsi, tím víc by měl vědět, jak vyhrávat. Versus 18letý děcka, vole. Na gumicích prostě. Doufám, že vyhrajou NRG.
Yeah, I think that it was the fact that I was very surprised by the map pick, right? They didn't look so strong on it in the past, but what I really liked from NRG is they're using that time to actually develop some of their ideas, and that is a really good sign going through this tournament. So the round I wanted to show here is NRG versus XLG in the last game. And what I was criticizing last time is with this composition, they got 2 drones on their team, but they weren't using them very effectively. But in this game, they started doing some really interesting things. So if I full zoom here, what we're going to see is brawk over this side of the map, literally just droning B long. You might be like, Mini, drone B long, isn't that pretty normal stuff? Is that basic? And the answer is yes. And the reason for that is if we clear it, this drone is the only drone that can stop the jet on top of this box there. That's the only drone that can see no man here, and that means that you can control the B long of this map. So you're
takzvaný single initiator fake.
Same time. Now, no man
Československá klasika.
No man's here because NRG make a little mistake here. They don't put this smoke up. NRG aren't able to get a lurk down into this map. But so no man calls this bluff. He starts rotating away, and if we go up into the full zoom, we see that he's ran off this side of the map. They've left B complete. There's 5 there. So a slight mistake there from NRG, but the intention was good. Now, later on, what I loved is that NRG then adapted. They then thought, well, no man's clearly cooling our buff here. Let's try and kill him up on that box. So this time around, we see the drone come out once again. We see it dissipate this time correctly. And if you saw 2 little players just going across there, they're going to peek out on a timing to try and catch No Man. No Man overconfident now because of that fake from before. And this time the easiest kill of Mada's life there. And then NRG are straight up onto this B site.
Okay, decent analýza.
I think that what I really liked about NRG...
Když to je takovej klid, kámo, já vidím, co píšete, no to je takovej klid, díky bohu. Jsem také streamoval třeba 3 streamy, by the way.
And so when we talk about depth and going into this tournament, I have a lot more faith in NRG right now than I do LEV.
And I think especially when we consider coming into that video yesterday, we had thought that NRG were maybe hiding their better maps by picking the Pearl into
Habibi, come to Dubai.
Coming into this tournament. And of course, when we think back to that series that they had against XLG, they had to have a comeback on low.
Viděl bych se na tu Perlu ještě jednou od NRG, mě actually zajímá, co tam mají vymyšlenýho nového s tou sovou. Málo týmu hraje sovu na Perlu over Fate.
Now that we're moving on in this Swiss stage, we need to see all players on form on that stage today.
Yeah, that's right. I think resilience is another theme for this team as well. All that experience.
Glyph postup před 15 minutama, ukáž? Thank you to all of my teammates, staff, organization. Explore option upcoming open to all regions. Controller initiator. Initiator. Available IGL second caller.
From NRG here, let's get it. Just came off a nice clean 2-0 versus XLG. I say clean, but second map was a little close. Had a nice little comeback. I think 7 rounds in a row, 8 rounds in a row to close it out. So happy with that. We knew they would run that Lotus comp of theirs with 3 Sentinels, and they definitely gave us a run for our money. A little harder than we thought it would be.
Anyway, still a world away. No man not reading brawk's position whatsoever. He was completely unread.
Us.
In Valorant, you know, you can only lose twice. So if you lose your first one, you're on the edge the whole time, and that would be nothing new for us, lower bracket, but it's good to start off strong. Yeah, mentality coming into Masters London, obviously, always to win for us, but also to prepare us a little bit for the end of the year. I don't think we were close to our peak form in Santiago, so gonna work on that and hopefully show it here.
26 EO Beast.
Here with Ethan of NRG. Ethan, you guys had a recent encounter with LEV. What are some challenges that they might present for you today?
They have a lot of young, aggressive players, so we're just gonna have to be ready for it.
Who's gonna take care of the young guns?
I think we'll all pitch in, but hopefully Gio can.
Má tu pásku na nose, kamaráde, zas.
Okay, now thank you so much.
Well, Ethan's talking about the young guns on LEV, but they have some of their own firepower. We have to mention Kicku. He went absolutely bananas, dropping 60 kills in 2 maps and setting a new 2-map record in VCT Global. Do you guys know the previous record?
I guess Durka?
It's not Durka.
Kankan.
Tens with 54, and it was just beaten in this event by this man.
Ten z 54 a on to beatl o 6 killů.
Yeah,
that
crazy. Bomb there is incredible. 37% of the kills in his team was him. I think that is great for Kicku, but I have a bit of question mark over NRG's form right now. We need to see the rest of these players stepping up. They are championship caliber, and I believe that even in a game where they're not firing as hard as usual, being able to take it over the line shows world championship kind of mentality. I don't expect to see that again. I expect to see them all coming up together now.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. 370 ACS. He's number 1 on the leaderboard at the
jako před ním na KDA.
It was only 3 Ks he was putting up. He was never just getting 1 kill in a round. It was always multiple. I think he ended up with 10 by the end. And I think for me, impressive to come into your home turf and put up a performance like that.
I am hoping to see him on the Phoenix today, though.
Je pravda, on je UK týpek.
Kicku, the British guy on the British agent, but we didn't get to see that. He didn't need it last time, but hopefully we get to see it.
We were unable to get that far, but hopefully today we do. Now, we had another game yesterday, our first 3-mapper in Masters London, and that's because for LEV against Global Esports, rolling them on Pearl. Sato especially wasn't playing like himself. He was struggling on this map, but he woke up later on to carry them on Pearl and Split. We could hear him scream, laugh, hold his hand up for high fives, and be left totally hanging.
I think the main thing from Sato that I was impressed with yesterday was the showmanship, right? Soaking up that environment, soaking up that global experience, and showing his real character. I think it's really good attitude to have, that not letting that first map kind of get to him and get inside his head, and then go on to just enjoy the moment and put up those good performances in map 2 and 3.
I love what he was saying in the post-match interview too about the team has a goldfish mentality. A little Ted Lasso reference there, where
goldfish mentality je dobrá.
A bit of a bad time maybe, just forgetting it immediately like a fish would, going on to the next map. I think that is what this LEV team needs, because they have a lot of inexperience in the team. If they start to feel those jitters at all, they got to remember that they are fish.
Goldfish memory and good vibes from Sato. It's definitely the formula for LEV's success so far. And are you expecting him to... I would love to see the head-to-head with him on the Phoenix versus Kicku.
I think it's disgusting. Like, I think they're both like 250 ACS Phoenixes right now. If I had to choose one or the other, I wouldn't be able to do it. Let's just have them both on the Phoenix every match.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. All right, well, you guys are mentioning
style
of playing, a lot of set trap plays, especially on Fracture. Tell us what you think.
I think they're very good, and I love the fact that LEV have these preset plays, but this one in particular is one that I saw 2 months ago as well, Billy. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, do you know what? I think that the combination of utility was really well. It's great to see that this set trap team is coming in.
Ten play jsem viděl už tak 7krát, dokonce eventu ho hodíme celkem 20krát.
They were doing only say a couple of months ago, it does almost raise a flag. Of course, they've not played against NRG in VCT Americas. It's just a question of, yeah, how much footage of NRG got on that.
I think the key thing is LEV do understand.
Oni to udělali dvakrát něco takového. To jsem neviděl, jak šel tohle druhý.
It's thinking about how can they use their style and fake off of it. Maybe throwing that breach stun and doing something else on the map. That is the way that they like to do the kind of anti-preparation. But when I was talking with some of the analysts yesterday, Sliggy and TMV were having a field day saying that we could have predicted every single round, but it's up to NRG today to see whether they can do that in the server.
Well, map veto is going to be really important today, and we saw a lot more revealed by NRG yesterday. We got a 1v1 showdown in our skirmish side select.
1v1.
Duel today.
Bonkar, doufám.
Mada and Neon, very good selections here. Neon has been so hyped up coming into.
Co má za tričko ten Mada? Vypo na 1v1.
That's dirty, but they did decide to actually both buy it there, so I'm not too disappointed, but op in the skirmish, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a red flag if someone's pulling out an op
in the
skirmish, unless it's obviously pre-agreed, like you're mentioning, Mini. I think we need to
Mada hodně chtěl, kámo, ten
maps that we could have in this veto as well.
Mada hodně chtěl, vole, to veto.
Ooh, Mada actually won that pretty dominantly. That's not so great for Neon when you consider things. But yeah, I think we need to start thinking about what are those map selects and bans going to be.
Yeah, in fact, we get to see it right now. Let's take a look at the map veto.
Hello and welcome. Today NRG versus Leviathan map veto, and NRG won the skirmish, so they are picking their side. Team D. Alright, which means Leviathan banning first.
Coaching GG tam má tričko svoje promo.
Freeze is banned, now NRG is banning.
Ban split.
Split is banned as well, and Leviathan picking their first map.
We pick Ascent.
Oh!
And side for Ascent.
Dvě sovy, baby!
Defense.
Let's fucking go! Odin, vole.
Pick Lotus.
Odin po druhé.
Leviathan picks it. Alright. Then we have Fracture, Haven and Pearl left. Leviathan banning first.
We ban Fracture.
Okay.
Ban Haven.
Haven is banned. Decider is Pearl and Leviathan picking their side.
Hello?
Defense. So let me give you a quick recap. We start with Ascent, Energy Defense. Then we have Lotus, Leviathan attacks, and if we go to Decider map, which is Pearl, Leviathan defense. Everything correct? Thank you guys, good luck.
All right, we're getting to see some of the maps we were just discussing, but we are going to be starting with an Ascent.
Yeah, very similar map feature to last time, but LEV decided to go onto this Ascent, which is beautiful. I called them the best Ascent team in the world.
Nevím, kam on ten lagnul úplně týpek.
This map is a must win for them. I think going deeper into this map pool though, I think
Leviathan Ascent jsme dělali full deep breakdown, kámo, každého jednoho kola, každý mapy, oni hrajou Phoenix, Neon, Chamber, Sova, Omens.
In America, so I think the NRG being able to get that, especially how good they
Very
look
aggressive
SLG
composition.
the other day as well. I think the later stages, I agree, it starts to favor NRG.
Quick Preds?
2-1 NRG.
2-1 NRG.
All right, well, I'm going for LEV. I'm going for the Young Guns today. Today, we get to advance a second team into playoffs. It's our Young Guns on LEV, some of the freshest and most hyped rookies versus our reigning champs, NRG. So everyone, buckle up, because the Battle of Americas begins right now.
Right.
There's little micro things that NRG is doing here on the map that are really impressive.
I don't think we were close to our peak form in Santiago.
Knife kill.
We'll work on that and hopefully show it here.
A to opatrně, kámo, v Londýně, no.
We're not here to mess around. We came to London to win.
Estoy jugando en el palco internacional. Es algo muy bom para mim, porque eu queria desde muito pequeno, desde que eu tinha 4 anos, eu sempre sonhei com isso.
I would say this meta suits us a little better than the Neon meta. I think LEV from Americas was a very top team, and I'd like to see them play now after Neon nerfs, and I'd like to see what they've come up with.
2-1 NRG. Kámo, to be honest, 2-0 NRG a jdeme rankedy.
Os caras também são campeão mundial. Então, se os caras têm títulos e coisas assim, é porque eles estão trabalhando muito. Eu espero que seja mais 2-1. Acho que eles são bons e vão dar batalha contra nós, mas nós vamos ganhar obviamente.
Just so you know, you're just our stepping stone to playoffs, and we're excited to play you, and we'll be ready as well.
Just so you know, you are our stepping stone prostě. Počkej, nástupovka už jsem nezažil, bude nástupovku, to nevím, ne? Kámo! To jsem určitě nezažil, kamaráde. To jaký banger dali na nástupovky tady? Wow! To je skepta, ne? Londýnský, vole. Co to je? Není skepta, tak který to je z těch UK typků? Ustal do playlistu, kamaráde.
Yeah, Neon going onto that first map is crucial. He's going to be on that chamber of ascent and it's Lev's best map.
Jak to není skepta, ale který to je, vole?
He's going to be going deep into middle consistently, cutting off rotations there, and the defense though, that's what I like the most. He's going to be on one side of the map, holding
to není ono, ale má to podobnou rychlost, kámo. Viktor Lep. Je podobný beat, kámo. Kde je chat? Kde je chat? Já nemám chat. A už. Nikdo nepsal, co je za song? Počkej, kámo. Má duša zamavat. Jsem demens, kámo. Skanka P-Money, vole, se to jmenuje. Ukáž? Skanka P-Money, vole. A mám to doma, já to mám vylejkovaný, ty kokote. Jim píče, to je banger. To je banger, jak se vidí. Tak jedem. Album se Smekem. Smek, one. To je strašný. Fandíme NRG, kámo, to je jasný, ne? Komu fandíte vy? Čet, komu fandíte vy? Všimli, jak je nalevo už víc, že ho píči. Tobě? Díky, Franko. Hrajou furt to samý, no. Astra? A 2 sovy, kámo, to je cinema. To je nádhera, vole. Tak Astra by mě překvapila, kdyby nepiklo Mena i ten.
Kicku, Sato head to head like we've been begging for, Mini.
Yeah, I'm liking this comp change from NRG. They didn't look fully confident on the previous comps that they have been playing. Going with that Phoenix, that has been a highlight for me in this meta so far. Getting Sato and Kiko firing off each other.
Kiko, kámo. Kiko a Sato. Phoenix duel taky, kamaráde, velice dobré na koukání. Velice dobrý zápas. Boom! Them again! Them again! Bow!
Plenty of options here, and I'm curious as to see what Bonkar and Ethan's game plan is here.
Yeah, this is definitely the question. And LEV, you know, they only had one night to try to prepare for NRG, but they do know each other really well, even if they haven't really been playing each other in Americas, Billy.
Well, yeah, like we mentioned, these two rosters haven't met in Americas just yet, which is why I think today makes it even more exciting because we get to see that here on the global stage for these two teams. I think when I'm looking at NRG starting on this defense, brawk on the Odin going to be pivotal here, I think, especially. I think if they can utilize the weaponry diversity to their advantage.
Odin, kamaráde versus Odin, Blows taky hraje Odina.
On the Odin, these different things will hopefully go in their favor.
Well, taking us through VCT Americas to find out who the second playoffs is gonna be, it's Mitchman and Tom Biz.
Well, these teams got a taste of each other, but now it's time for the main course here on LAN. And Tom, it looks like
No, ta drošové pískanice.
Sato up against Kicku on the Phoenix to kick it off. You couldn't ask.
Dneska je smutný den. Rambut video, Glislavička. Bohužel, kámo. Není to bardel ten Valorant. Ale konec něčeho je zase začátek něčeho novýho. No nic, šet, každopádně polně sousaďte, vítejte. Myslím první zápas, který jsem tady celý. Od začátku do konce. NRG versus Leviathan. Come on! Kdo vyhraje, hraje proti Vitality, pokud to chápu správně. Leviathan dělali, kámo, celý split, by the way. Leviathan jsme čestně vykrádali v Rambut. A myslím, že na oficiálu jsme to neukázali, ale hráli jsme to třeba 2 týdny, ten kompich.
And look for some info soon. The flash is primed and ready. Down to the timing, and it looks like they're going to just concede that after hearing a bit of noise.
Of course, a big part of this Phoenix is going to be the grasping of those orbs, giving
ani hraju tu Astru, actually, jo.
Of life, but in this pistol, it's very slow and controlled. We talk about Leviathan and their flare.
Proč Astru, kámo?
They are taking their sweet time and moving their way.
Jako začínat na defendu, on Astra je euro lepší na defend, podle mě. A s tou Vice může být dobrá na kombení. Plus když hraju takhle pomalu proti ním, tak ta Astra je dobrá proti pomalýmu play, no. Kuba dal right click do smoku. To retake bez utility, good luck, kamarád. Čemu kolik mají utility NRG, skoro nic. Venku. To se těžko říká, kámo. O, jaký stun?
With just one man standing, the IGL to try and turn things, and the swing out from King was a little bit risky, but he's going to take the fight and win it. It's a pistol once again for Leviathan, a big part of their game.
Těžko se to určuje, kámo. Abych je neurazil, zároveň nevypadal jako kokot, ale myslím si, že je to close. Ale jako týmově jsou next level, chápeš?
So close in the end, you can see if there wasn't that bit of disruption, this could be a very different early half. Instead, Leviathan 1-0 start and NRG, well, classics in their hand now. You can see it is going to.
A tohle to jsou hlavně NA týpci, takže ti nemůžu ukázat, když jsem hrál proti ním, ale jinak EU týpky hrajou kamo každý den, jedna na rankedu. Vyhrávám, prohrávám, je to prostě. Hra je jednoduchá mechanicky, takže bych řekl, že je daleko, ale týmově a experience jsou insane.
Already managing to get a couple of kills. Neon, of course, was only playing with the headhunter, but on 5 HP has now retrieved a rifle. Of course, the chamber kind of allows them just to pad these a little bit with less weaponry having to be purchased and still finances to rebuy back up into the next round if they keep these alive. You can see for brawk,
The only goal is to trap one. If they walk into his crosshair, maybe he gets a kill.
Aby se dokázal představit z Franku, tak prostě jsou ve Valorantu týry, máš prostě tier 4, co je nic, tier 3, co je nějaký premiér, nějaký qualifiery, etc, tier turnamenty. Potom, když jsi nejlepší v tier 3, tak se dostaneš do tier 2, což jsou prostě B tier věci a nějaký qualifiery. A když jsi potom lepší v tier 2, tak se dostáváš do playoff a do nějakých dalších layers. A když jsi nejlepší v tier 2, tak to staneš tier 1. Basically. Já jsem teď byl v tier 2 a řekl bych, že individuálně jsem hrál silně nadprůměrně, takže tak no, týmově bohužel to byl takovej průměr, lehký nadprůměr, takže tolik k tomu. No to je jedno, to můžeme pokecat na Kicku, jako to nebudu tady, vole, to rozebírat. A můžeš se podívat na poslední košmarosovo zápas, než šel do Heretics, tak kdo hrál proti němu. Jen tak jako. For the funsies. Odin! No spamoval z žádku kola ten brawk, to spamoval z těch schodů? To se nevnímal, kurva. Čo Markton?
Viatan had the spike there, but much further back, and again, this is going to be a slow attack side. A minute on the clock as they were just outside the A site, but now a change in direction again.
Dobré ráno. Dobrý gameplay, to už jsem někdy viděl ten gameplay, kámo. To už jsem někdy viděl ten gameplay.
This sneaky play by Scuba, he almost got one. If King wasn't mid-TP, he'd be out of the round. And it's already advantage for NRG. Leviathan luckily make it to the site without too many more fights. They'll get themselves a plant.
30 seconds left.
I like what I've seen from Mada though. I think he's cleared all of B main and ran back around. Of course, it's something they'll have to clear again, but it means they know there's no one flanking. Sato though! Oh,
So!
Just lets them take over the round. He almost did it all in his ult. That was on a timer. And guess what? He's still alive! An ace to bring us thunder!
Už to neukázali. Jen to neukázali.
Was a bit of a slow start for Leviathan. They were happy to run the clock down, but now when the time was against
A ten třetí na toho Scubu byl insane.
they end up picking up most of the team and finding it all in the end. A gorgeous play for Sato. A huge round for Leviathan.
Holy smoke, kamaráde, holy smoke.
Two rifles. It means reinvestment having to be made potentially. If they were to come in strong in that round, it means risks for the early half. There was a chance for NRG.
Jebek hraje Kovacs bych rád zmínil. Benchmarky.
3-0, likely a fourth. Oh, a bit dangerous here for King. He's under a lot of pressure. That paranoia saved him, and luckily he's got teammates close by. Spike scene in here in a flash.
Jak to nelepí.
And now this is dangerous once again. 7 shots.
Je. A už to zase lepí.
Somehow gets away with that anyways. If he falls there, this round is competitive. It may still be if Scuba can pull out a big play, but they're waiting for him. In fact, no, they're walking into him. This is dangerous with the back.
Oh!
It's close one found in Neon.
Hodně close. Mě zajímalo, kam ten brokoval wallbang, počkej.
They keep these alive.
King wasn't mid-TP on the attack, and for NRG, it's very much going to limit their early aggression.
Já dvojkový speed do píči, než ten livestream.
Although, we could be seeing some towards B.
On spamuje tady to. Interesting.
They've at least kept the economy a little bit more honest, but there's still quite a lot of credits available.
To si kradu, kámo.
Their ultimates building.
Very simple. Známe, ale nikdy jsem ti nepřemýšlel, že můžu wallbangovat takhle i ten B main.
This is normally where he's the most dangerous.
Has been a splendid start For Leviathan so far, a 4-0 lead. Winning this round would skyrocket them into this map, and the one that we said is so crucial for them to take. Nice opening as well by Spike Zine.
Dobrý reveal na fake, kámo. Vypadá, že to hodil zámy, no.
It's worked for the pick, and now they move towards B. Let's jump into the cars.
Vamos passando pra B. É que ele vai preguiçar, tá? Tô frisando um pouco.
Tá, já piscada, já piscada. Volta, só volta. Calma, maquele. Posso abrir com você aqui?
To hrajím.
Ono to udělá úplně červenýho čumsa, když je mrtvej, to co je za grafiky tam, co tam mají na té stage. To mě úplně sralo, kámo, že umřel jsem červený, má do ksichtu.
Mano, quer voltar pra B ainda, viado? Vamos fazer um fake A e voltar B. Fica bem então, Bruno.
Eu não tenho nada, Blue, pra fakear.
Mais vamos lá.
Čum, King taky červený. Pro diváky to je dobrý, kámo. Ale jako když ty když to hraješ, mě to sralo, kámo. Když máš ty už si skapal ještě. Jo, viděl? Oh, movement. Mega dobrý movement, ty pičo. To byl strašně dobrý movement.
That smoke now fading. He's gonna have to swing this eventually. They're trying to bait him into the fight, and with an operator, that's not the gun you
want. Pull dobrý, kámo. Holy shit, Ethan je insane.
But Matter is watching, waiting, and NRG are finally gonna get.
Holy shit, kámo, on je fakt skurveně dobrý.
Second that they saw him jump peeking in A main, that was it, pretty much done and dusted.
Ulti našel, to dal půl, kámo. Hodně dobrý. Má strašně dobrý utility usage, kámo. Já jsem koukal nějaký vodko na hejvnu jeho Omena. On to Omena hraje úplně jinak než jiný lidi. Úplně jiný smoky hází.
But it was Ethan staying alive up top. Just that split-second decision not to try to punish, not to dive out onto the side. I think it was the call from Scuba that the Steel Garden was going to come in. That's given them a round.
Teďko Volbengu je jako já ten bro? Nebo hlazí shock dart? Reveal.
Especially as the rounds go on and you see these ultimates. Like the one for Neon coming online. For now he's only got his operator.
Minulý Masters to nebylo, Bobíček. Mini nebyl červený, kámo. Bych si pamatoval, to bych se smál jako kokot.
And that they do. He's on the floor as King tries to hold on for dear life, tries to buy time and allows Sato to trade.
Všichni zabijí Volbengem a jenom ne brawk, vole. Oh! Kámo, se to má životku jak svině. Oh! Cinema výser!
But he's got a chance and his opponent's low. So is he.
Je ještě o rok starší než já, ten no. On usnul. Original Masters, Original Finals, jo, to je možný, kámo, možná v Číně někde mají nebo něco, no.
Within 6 rounds, and yeah, call a timeout, but the counter to this man just doesn't seem possible. He's already halfway back to his O again.
You remember the head-to-head we were excited about? Sato and
To co tweetnul Starkso? Turkish buff is here. We're not losing anything.
Really tough start for him. Indeed.
Alpha komentoval, I don't think it works like that, brother.
And on the other side, anything but. These are two players who've had fantastic openings to the group stage here in London, but one seems to be holding on to that momentum a bit better than the other. 12-4 is ridiculous. And I think Sato's only getting started.
Well, yeah, I think the devastating thing for NRG as well, that if you look back to their previous match, the Coinbase win condition would have been Kicku. Like, I think everybody else finished negative in that game, and they won. Like, that's how good he was over those two maps. So I think this is now a position where, okay, you're going to need him to step up a little bit. What I will say, though, his expectations are that they'll lose this map. I think this is.
Kde ten minikount říkal, že bude koukat se mnou?
We know that Leviathan are fantastic when it comes to Ascent, but we know that the next couple of maps will favor NRG.
Byly to podělky?
It's more so just the thing that would worry me most about for them at least is if Sato keeps doing stuff like that.
Zvláštní vanvej hází ten Ethan, nejde hodit lepší, nebo to hází skválně tohle ten dozadu? Dvě sova ultiny.
He's already had 2, he's halfway to a third, and we are going into round 7.
Nice flash. Neon's forced back, but he has got support deeper to
Oj.
Blows is able to trade.
Proč nedodělal? On neměl range možná. Co dělá Maďar, vole? Adam, kámo.
Brings the spike back into the hands of Leviathan. That kill might just have saved the round. It's at least kept it in contention for Leviathan.
Yeah, I think Mada could have easily closed this one out. Doesn't get that kill. Even still though, the defensive side spread across the map.
Furt vyhrali víc kol. Já dostali 100 nemám.
After the push, the expectation.
Je to crazy, ty
said, okay, maybe they'll go back in towards that B site now that they think they've done enough damage on that side. And especially when you have the full setup from Scuba on the other side of the map, you're gonna get some information early enough.
Zajímavý angle holdí brawk na to, že mají Phoenixe. By the way, holdí přesně angle, kam dostane po flash. Ten brawk je tak mrtvý, kámo. Kecal jsem. Zabil všechny 3. What?
NRG up to 2.
Ukaž to, kurva, ještě jedno.
What? 5-2.
Sračka.
Round starting to break back into their favor and some huge individual brilliance in the early stages of the round from Mada. A little bit more disruption. I like that we're seeing that aggression out from NRG.
No, on neviděl ani jednoho z nich. On neviděl ani jednoho z nich.
So that disruption worked out wonderfully. Already though, you've heard the tour de force go off. Not being for Neon, it seems like the defensive side though.
Oh!
Gonna look to try and and they're immediately punished.
Ten je čískem, kámo, ten mid takhle píkovat, protože ty máš wallbangnout Sabrouse, ale musí jít strašně do openu, kámo, je tam jsou 2 zdi.
From the run it back, instead Sato stands his ground and takes it out right away. Kiko looks like he wants another bite of the cherry, but they are waiting on the other side. Again, Leviathan's patience.
Čum na tu volu na bečku, oni dojebal. Čum na B-side. Čum na B-side na tu ice volu.
That they want to. A bit of control in B main here. At least it's going to keep that rotate. It's going to get that rotation rather towards the A site. Scuba's now here to help out. Still has his utility, and they've got lots of bodies to break through.
Jako je anti? Nevypadá, že byl anti.
If they leave this too long, this could be a much more difficult push than they think it will be. Kiko's caught it.
Na půl, kámo.
He won't fall before taking a few.
30 seconds left.
NRG still have a chance, and with time so low, I don't think Leviathan can go anywhere.
Next level vola.
Especially considering the position.
To finta, kámo.
Have to go that way. Kill will come through, but there's no way back at this point. They have to keep
15 vteřin musí commitnout.
Both players here, time ticking away. The run through. Ethan already catches one, and that's
Ten Omen Smoke je troll, ne, by the way. Omen Smoke byl moja proti ním.
This is already over, and he might get the kill.
Je normální nějaký smoke.
The back of the site, but it is meaningless. NRG will hold their ground, and the climb back continues.
Yeah, very nice round from them as well. I like the fact that we started this, seeing the Vice move towards the B side, putting the wall there as well, so they could isolate whoever goes towards the lane.
Vidíš, byl na piču,
strange Vice wall when you look at it on the map, but with how they've been taking space on the Leviathan side when it comes to those B hits, it makes sense. And then when they don't get the contact, you get the ult comes out from Kiko. He sees players short, Mada fills in the space on B main, and then the rotates happen, and that's why they're heavier on that side of the map. This was a really nice round from NRG, putting the pieces together even without that aggressive intel.
Kde hraje toho sobu jako ten brawk, on je zase na shortu?
Yeah, the wall. It's going to leave one player isolated. That one player is probably the one you have to be most worried about. But even still, the weaponry is weak in this round. LEV don't have much to play with, still hiding in the corner, but
on tuší, bro, ono wallbangne. Čum. Na chvilku. Tak ne? Ale zabil mu kámoše.
That early start from Leviathan is slowly starting to dwindle. And now coming back in with a purchase. I wonder if they lose this
Nothing
next
else
week, we might see
matters.
See how dangerous that position would have been for Sato if they were on site, if they had the spike crossed already, but the wall just delaying that little bit longer.
One enemy remaining.
It slowed them down, it allowed NRG to get into position. A fourth round on the board as a
Jak to
result.
hraje jedničkovou
What started
tečku
out
dlouho
as
už.
a lights out performance from Leviathan.
Skoro není vidět ten cross.
Now become a much more modest series, much more modest lead. One round to the good for the attack.
A Brawk hraje ranked, čemu začíná na midu, ale on prostě overotí na first contact, čemu hraje Brawk? On hraje všude prostě s tím Odinem, no to je dobrý kámo, prostě fulí všechny stěny, vole. Na Bčku, na midu a jináčku, máš dobrou stěnu na fulení.
Got that to work with, but
this has been the standoff. It's happened all the way through this game so far. These two knowing that the other is on the other side. And I think they know on NRG how important it is to try and keep that control. With the time ticking down. Some early presence being shown elsewhere.
To Bčko převálcuju, kámo. Leviathan teďko. Má jenom flashy za tu volu. Sova je na... No nějaký dobrý stáry od Etana musí přijít. Ukaž? Smoke a nějaký pull nebo něco.
That leaves gives some space, but the rest of the players are trapped behind it. Spike scene though managed to get through at the same time, and that's enough to find an opener.
They blindsided for the first, but still Mada to deal with on the site. Nobody.
Odin.
I would say no one could help him out, but Brawk has no sight line, but it doesn't matter. Now Mada's found one, but it doesn't matter either. Leviathan right back to winning ways, and only this lane push to deal with. The off is trained in, and it's an easy close for the attack side.
No nic, Sova zpátky na B, kamaráde, Sova zpátky na B. Aby rotovala info.
Really, it starts with spicy getting out like this. Popping the wall up, and well, Scuba had no notion what he was facing when his vision came.
Break kill.
Yeah, I think that kill was integral. If they're able to stay alive and just wait in that crossfire once again, I think that's what's been working for NRG, just having the numbers on this side. Mada end up doing.
Není tam moc full house, jak to?
Wasn't quite enough.
Midlink crunch.
This is the thing, they've known Neon is here almost every single round. But can you now punish him? It's more than one pushing up, looking to try and maybe get a follow-up instead. Mada might just be the surprise, but he has to shoot.
Nemá range? On nemá range na tu ultinu. To je takovej fail. To je takovej fail, kámo. To je takovej fail, on nemá range, on tam oh my god. Oh my god, World Champions by the way. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Blinkered in on that initial kill. Obviously the idea, as you said, Neon's been taking that B main space. There was one round I think where Mada was able to push up, and even in that round Neon got him from mid.
To bylo, kámo, za hovno kolo, kámo. Nic, jdeme na 3 mapy, to je 3 mapovka tohle. Nevypadají dobře na ascentu, ty NRG.
Last time that there was pressure put in B main like that, they had someone, I believe it was Blows, waiting in the spawn, so he could have easily come running out of the smoke. But when that kill when the Phoenix ult is cancelled out, they throw the Hunter's Fury at it, they throw themselves at it, and well, that
NRG fandím. My goat.
And 2 players thrown to the wind. Leviathan not showing any real scars for it. And they've even chosen correctly as they pull the ace from the blind bag. It will be an easy plant.
They are still checking everything. You've seen all the stuns, flashes, door being closed, tapping the plant, just trying to make sure if anybody's going to swing them, that they are ready for it. But NRG, and you can kind of understand why a lot of the hits have been going.
Nastává hodně glazování, ale koukám.
And keeping hold of the weaponry now becomes far more important. The gamble didn't pay off, and you just want to hold on to that additional weaponry. And I honestly think, like, when we were sat there at 5-4, it was far more important for Leviathan on this attack side to really build in, because that's where they've had the majority of their rounds when you go back to their games in Americas. Even versus the likes of G2, MIBR, some of the heavy hitters. They've been very good on the attack side of this map, and for NRG, if they had been able to go in even, I think they would have been very happy. But now, the best they can hope for is 5.
Okay, that's going to be a tough battle, but helped out by the 3 weapons saved over in this round. At least a decent buy awaits them for their final battle of the half. But Leviathan have been playing like this is a map they need to win from the get-go. Obviously, Sato had some...
Ve třetí mapě by měl Sato dostat sračku, potkal jsem ho tu, dal jsem mu napít proťáku, projímadlem, sadejte na NRG.
And for good reason, as you said, when it comes to
Jedna
that
z nejlepších zpráv dneska.
Lotus up next, NRG's pick, and Pearl after. It definitely feels like that's where NRG pick up a lot of heat in this series. I like that reveal from the other side of the map. It's giving the idea that there's more players towards A than there actually are. The orb's going to be...
Komentátor říká, že se mu líbí idea tohle revealu. Meanwhile, to je 3 roky starý reveal od Crashy se.
He's here every single round.
Díky.
Big flight placed in B main to keep that control. It allows so much in terms of their rotations back to the other side of the map. Again, we've seen a switch up from Scuba.
A to je tak annoying to vypozá, tak to je taková nuda, vole.
Well, the smoke just used to
hraje.
give Mada positioning, but the fact is, the drone clearing into middle. B main still not under the defender's control. They don't know which direction they're going in, but at least in terms of the heavier sides, they
Pavel the Goat
towards A. As soon as that flash comes through,
obscuring vision.
You're gonna have some problems with Thorns to fight into. The smoke bloomed as well. A molly in from Phoenix, time being delayed, but Neon's waiting to catch these rotations, and there it is.
Minuta kola a nic se nestalo, by the way. První kill padl v 30. vteřině.
And now they realize the mistake of this round. Scuba on site. That was a fake TP, but now with 15 seconds to get the plant in, they're rushing A. Still 3 players from NRG here. It's a big mistake from Leviathan. Neon's lurk is the only grace to be found in this round as the defense locks in 5.
Nevím, kámo, nelíbí se mi ten ascent pro play legit.
Or hoping that they'd all rotate away, but the fact is neither happened. NRG stand their ground.
Nelíbí se mi, jako hraje ani jeden tým.
And even with this nasty lurk pick coming out from Neon, it's going to be maybe a little closer than Leviathan would have liked. A pistol going into the next, we could see ourselves even.
Do you guys know where you're going? Like,
what?
It was definitely a strange end of the round, but no doubt they thought there was only one player on B.
They
They thought it'd be overreactions, but NRG even trailing looked calm, cool, and collected under pressure. And Leviathan, though, and Sato especially, has looked fantastic. You know what? Let's go down to an interview with his brother, William.
Hello everyone, I would love to introduce you to my new friend William, who just so happens to be Sato's brother.
Huh?
Yes please London, make some noise! Because William is the reason that Sato's on that stage, because you were the one who told him to
Nevím, baví tady ta moderátorka, kámo.
Yes, when we first started playing on Dream Beta, I told him like, oh, you should really start streaming because people have to know who you are. Because when he started playing, everyone called him cheater because he was really good at very beginning. So I told him like, oh, start streaming.
Cheater accusations.
But he was kind of scared to show his face, so he only showed his mouse. And one day he got raided in middle of the night. So he started calling me like, oh, bro, there's like 1,000 people like watching me right now. What am I supposed to do? And he was really scared because the next day he had to go to class. And he was like, oh, what should I do? I was like, oh, you should keep playing, right?
So William, I've got to ask you quickly then, does it surprise you how incredibly well
you
performed in front of many more people here in London and obviously...
Yes, of course. I think it's amazing that he has this great mentality. Always he had like this older kind of vibe to him. But like it's a dream come true for me because I always wanted to play.
Jak se na něj culí furt, kurva. Je to úplně znervozňuje.
And then when Valorant launched, I was like, oh, you should really...
Udělej tým ty, mini, ale že ještě 2 Češi. OK.
Because we're ready to go into the second half.
OK.
Leviathan are in the lead. Thank you, William.
Great showing from Leviathan in half number 1, Tom, but now the attack side is behind them. 7 on the board.
Franky.
Many will be asking. We're about to find out the answer to. Was it enough?
Yeah, it's difficult
They're
to
just
say.
years
NRG
old.
swapped up quite a lot. I think going in with the double duelist is going to give them a lot more of an opportunity to pull out rounds on the attack side. And although we didn't see the best from Kiko,
Já největší eventy ve Fortniteu koukám.
him and Mada were stepping up towards the end. A pistol round could make a very big difference. And as I said, the context of this map feels like one that Leviathan need to win. They're going to have an opportunity, and with their early stack up in towards the B site.
Nevím si, když Brok dá Odenis na otevře CS bednu. Gold.
But now with deep control, in fact,
Kvůli účesu.
pushed all the way into the corner.
Kámo, co máš s hlavou?
Depending on when they stop running, he might even hear them.
Oh yeah, it's going to be the shift from the stairs, so no chance for the sound cue to be given away. A contact play straight into Neon, but that's dangerous. Posted on this angle.
He's so dangerous.
Ready to roll and a TP available to get out of there, but Nada shut him down.
Oh, ten molík je huge. A Eden se nechal pročupálit.
Okay, advantage now sits in their favor, but Kiko fights his way back out. Great flash lands them at least a little bit of a foothold, but well, Brawk's the only one standing, caught in the laneway, and it's an
Nebylo hezký kolo.
him out a 3K from Sato, who's showing that he hasn't lost any of that first half flare.
He's just had a few massive multi-kill rounds, and it feels like even the read wasn't the worst. They knew on NRG that there was going to be a guy in that close right corner. They've expected Neon to be there. The problem is you deal with one piece of the Leviathan puzzle, and there's still a few more quickly looking to close out the round.
A oni mají nový skiny, by the way, já je neměl. Čemu má nový nožíky, ten Sato, a já neměl, vole. Klasika.
Definitely makes this an uphill battle for NRG. No force to be had, of course. No plant in, no extra credits, and now they have to be very careful with a judge waiting on the other side.
Dobrý shotgun.
It seems like with that smoke placement, they are aware there could be some players around this corner.
Yeah, I mean, the idea here, the same as the previous NRG push-up, take themselves the orb. No surprise it's being farmed up on Kiko. That running back to be very, very valuable. And it will most likely be online when you come into the next round, unless they get out with a victory without Kiko going down. And valuable for your first full buy, but...
Or without him getting a kill, or without or planting, or...
Yeah. It would be difficult to go in without it. Stampede into a short. Met by the molly of Sato. It's going to delay them somewhat. Still 45 on the clock. Still some space. Containing B main as well. They've got options here. It looks like this was again just that attempt to fake out. It has not pulled the rotates though. Leviathan are still B site containing towards spawn as well for Spike Scene. There has to be mistakes made. And even with one mistake, Chamber gets out of there right away.
25 seconds. They almost need to go down at this point. Doing some damage. They're getting players low, but they still haven't managed to.
Dobrý shotgun, ty, ale... What? Jo, milujeme killy ve sledu. A mě to nerfli, vole. A Sato má, ne, to není Sato, to byl nějaký jiný týpek. Ale i Sayo, a tuhle ten týpek, ne, který to byl Blows, nebo Spike, to je Spike Zine. Spike Zine, oba mají, kámo, myslím, že úplně stejný přívěšek toho, ale kříže. Nosí kříž, vejci oba.
Sato's having a heater right now, and Leviathan up on 9. A big reason, if not the reason, is that man in particular. But now, as you said,
On má Lena Payne na flash ten Sato, by the way. Už viděl po druhý, že se Lena půjde na flash. Ocením, kámo.
Flash perfect, Neon sent back. Kiko's gonna pop the ult now. It's time to hunt down the rest of that damage. Neon's already found one. It's a nice spot up above as well. They ran right past him, but oh, he's gonna get caught.
Zabil.
There's a few traps almost sprung on NRG, but they have just about missed them. The blows. If he can get a couple kills, it'd be great.
Yeah, Scuba does.
Úplně jsem neviděl Brawka hrát jinou zbraň než Odin, tu mapu.
Once his wall goes off, he's just locked in on the corner. Make sure that nobody's able to flank
Barte, ty si jemlej, na tu tvoji hlavičku starou.
One closer to the ultimate as well in this bonus round.
Musel jsem tě vyloučit, kámo, z chatu.
Na 10 vteřin, ale Maybe do a little bit of damage.
Gun here.
At least a Vandal spotted, but of course he's wary.
Až moc velký sígr.
Might just give the game away of where he is. And instead, maybe just going to try and save this one through. Of course, he's got the credits to buy into the next round anyway, but no point giving over any additional orbs to the other side, especially in a scenario where they're very likely to just be holding onto that post spawn. It will be a
oficiální Watchparty
for NRG, but of course, the next round is where Leviathan will get that buy.
Oficiální
That's
Watchparty.
the real meat and potatoes of the game. A trade-off for Leviathan, a round lost, but getting rid of that, run it back. It's kind of expected. 3-round gap now to work with. As you said, that there in particular was where I was starting to panic. brawk does an excellent job dealing with them. As you said, that push up in B main, but well positioned by Swall. Got them all the info they need.
Další lineup.
Rifle round though for Leviathan. Now the op coming out.
Týpek hraje toho Phoenixa jak sovu. Čum. Barde starší než Muffin. Dvakrát starší než Muffin.
Very aggressive start to the round. Spike scene already getting rid of Kicku. You can see how this defense plans to go on these early trap setups, and then they have the operator on the other side of the map. They know that taking away this B main control is going to be integral.
Ultimate's ready.
And in fact, with the Steel Garden online,
Vystřel.
he may just have to make the decision to leave instead.
Imagine by vystřel.
He just holds his ground, waits to see where the pressure comes in on the other side of the map.
Tím, že nevolbangne ten angle s tím Odinem.
Taking pre-fire fights because he's already so low.
Take flight.
Drone's gonna spot one and be broken. Main thing is Neon getting back on this angle. They put a flash there to try to bait him into shooting. He didn't fall for the ruse. They still don't know the danger that's lurking around that. As much as they may suspect it, there's always a chance someone rounds that corner a little too early. Neon's playing the second layer to it as well, a little bit further back, but that air is a big problem. Oh, he sticks around! They went a little too early, the op in for one, and now the headhunter still dish out damage. brawk is left though. Shock dart finds him, spike down in the lane, 20 seconds to get it planted. And they're not even boots on the ground just yet, getting surrounded. The walls closing in as Sato comes from spawn. They're on 10 seconds before this plant needs to be found. Time is running out, and NRG are running out of players. Scuba tries his damnedest, but he's got no time. And they're split up as well.
Třímapovka, chat, třímapovka toto. Tady Sato hraje s Odinem normálně.
I love that from Neon. It truly is just like gambling on the idea that your opponents are going to go just that little bit too early. We know that's the one thing about the Steel Garden that really kind of sucks with the ult is it takes so long to activate.
Sorry.
But even in their heads, they've got to go like, okay, at this point he will have moved just so he hasn't lost the ult. It's not really worth sticking around just at that very last second, but you see the gamble and then just so confident in his ability with the Headhunter to go out for a little bit more. The time ticking down, and more importantly for NRG,
Čekal jsem víc od NRG na Ascentu teda.
They are 4 behind. And with Leviathan just 3 away from taking that first map, be it expected or not.
Možná to je zrovna slabší mapa prostě. Supportíme LEV? Já ne. Ty jo, doma?
NRG are the team that should be doing just that, or should be avoiding such a poor start in that early half for Leviathan.
By the way, jen tak jako mimo řečí, chat. Jsem jediný, koho extrémně vadí ten font toho Ačka v tom Valorant Masters. Ten font toho Ačka, kamaráde, co tady u toho je vždycky.
This Leviathan side.
Měli změnit jako.
Okay, one thing we need to be really careful of is Neon in B main. So they're going to know that he's there. You see all of the util they're expending just to try and get rid of him, and then you get caught by it anyway. Like that's what's got to be frustrating when playing against this guy. And by the looks of it,
je to hnus, jako celý ta grafika je mega pěkná, se mi líbí ten druhý font. Takovej ten, kámo, fancy. Ale tu je ten, vole, pixelový font, ten je divný. Iko není online, no.
Himself an outlaw and his opponents have 4 sets of light shields.
Leviathan, over NRG, jak to?
There is a
Choice that.
massive danger. One for most players greater than the operator. A two-barrel off up against light shields. Waiting in mid, but finding nothing. But the benefit here is he's going to cut their rotates. So rotations could come in on the defensive side instead. They'll reinforce this B site. 3 players on hand, and Sato waiting a while to run in with the run it back. He's caught good timing.
A zajímavý timing je ten Sato s tou ultinou.
Leaving it down to 3 players already. Ethan has done well. But the man with the Odin is still at the back of the site. Almost fighting with brawk with his own machine.
30 seconds
and now
left.
Scuba with 30 seconds left, no spike in his hand, and 3 players already in a triangular crossfire. There was never any way out of that position. Leviathan played round, and for NRG directly after the pause. That is not.
Bude reverse sweep tohle, ale.
Neon coming in with an outlaw, saving a couple of credits, and now he comes in. Could buy an op, but why would he? Got himself the tour de force online. But blows here, he impresses me. I think we'll see the fight from stairs. He swings out wide, doesn't even bother ADSing. That was the most impressive part.
Jak pískají, vole.
Fighting brawk at his own game and styling on him as well. 2 rounds left for Leviathan to claim a map that they have looked superb on so far. And that blaze is actually really annoying to try to push through for the defensive side. You can see they were going to flash in, but instead they had to wait. And now they're ended up in the choke point, being met by the push. Kiko's found the first. They'll wait. But the drone goes through, and now they know exactly where to look. The spam, that should have taken him out. It's left him with a bit of HP, not for too much longer.
To nezabil Scuba. Disaster.
Dead to rights. It looked like they even pushed Sato in towards
Disaster, to be honest.
set him up to get the kill, and then it doesn't even matter. And just when you thought the Odin was on the other side of the map, they've had enough time to rotate. Just look at the position of Neon as well. Where do you go back? My man has already got you locked in if you try and go all the way back through the spawn. They're going to have that early information system of him. And because of that, with 40 seconds left, like they've dropped noise to go, okay, maybe we're gone. Maybe we're somewhere else. Now they've been spotted. Now they know the rules. There's 3 players still within this site for Leviathan. When do you just hold on to the guns?
Oh, to je Caron play, čum.
Because hell, he's got another to work with. Might not need it. Blind comes in on the other side. It's good, but this player's
Nasypal mu.
on this site. Anti-flash, ready to roll, and 12-6 we go. This is a masterclass from Leviathan. From the very get-go, their slow pace on the attack side made it uncomfortable for NRG. And here in the second, they've looked like they're in complete control.
It's unfortunate, because again, I think the initial game plan, that
Davítek. Fandím NRG reverse sweepu. A kde jsou lidi, kámo? To se neprodávají místa na sezení, nebo co? Kiko přibral? Kiko vypadá jak vlastní fotr, no.
Might be the best choice to avoid this sort of humiliation. They are looking to get themselves 1 map away from making it to playoffs. And, okay, it's a dance with death. Somehow Marder has managed to come out on top. Ethan alongside him. The best chance we've seen in a while. The spam should deny Spike seeing anything cheeky.
Not blows though. He's taking Marder down straight through the wall. Not a bad start. NRG needing 6 in a row, and it's already getting a little bit dicey. Big generators in the way there, luckily. The shot dart through on the other side will do damage. Scuba defends down below, and he decides to shoot back.
Kámo, oni chápou ten ascent ty lidi, nebo ne?
Perhaps silly play. Time maybe too far gone here unless the kills come in so quickly, and now they will just tuck in, hide, and wait for this clock to
Gun game hraje týpek, čum.
for them. Ringer Rosie being put into play, and
oh
my goodness, you see why. Give Neon a chance, and he would have taken it. But the clock indeed has won the round for NRG. Not exactly the round that inspires confidence in the 6-round win streak, though. It's a very tight one in the end.
At this stage, I think a round is a round, but yeah, I definitely agree. It's going to put their economy back on the fringe. Definitely an awkward battle to
dostal full blind jako.
Kick so blind, he ends up TPing back into his own opponent. Blows and Neon with a nice attempt. Yeah, you can tell that Ethan thought he'd killed him. 12-7. Mixed bag buy. And it seems like NRG are just going to keep trying to rinse and repeat. King has not been here. He's not been
here. To byl dobrý play, oni věděli o tom, že je ve víně, ale prostě ho odignoroval s tou jetkou. Se mi líbilo. Zádička budou bolet. O, wallbang, on dostane wallbang. Nechápe videohru. Ale brawk nejde do Andru. Kámo, já potřebuji okamžitě jít mastit.
Neon has taken so much space.
Kámo, to byl dead toho spotu, kde dronil, kurva.
Again, you're not just giving Neon, you saw how dangerous he was with the operator. Well, he can move faster and shoot faster as well, with each bullet as deadly as it is with the big gun.
They're expecting a push.
Proč holdí vedle sebe a ne v taverce?
Defensive players are locked in on very passive angles.
Čekaj, reveal na heaven a pak budou plantit?
I really like this from Leviathan. They're just waiting for that plant to go in so that they know what side of the map this pressure has come in on. But I also like of NRG, they were trying to bait them into a fight before they plant. Instead, we get the fight that's expected. Neon swinging his way through main. His teammate is very far behind and he can't quite hit the shot. That was an opportunity maybe for a freebie. Instead now the spam's trying to clear a spot that nobody stood in any longer. Reveal available. Both players waiting, but that's the shot that could make it count as left. All onto brawk. He's being spammed out from underneath. And again, he will bite the dust to a gun that he made popular. It's Leviathan that will go 1-0 up in this series and find themselves a map away from playoffs.
And they look so comfortable down on that stage as well. This was a masterclass on Ascent, but now we up the difficulty. NRG's map pick is up next. The bounce back has to start after the break.
Píšu minimu, jestli dojde. Přišla mi jako zajímavá zpráva, chat. Přišla mi zajímavá zpráva teďko. Rypl jsem vás, sorry. Přišla mi jako velice zajímavá zpráva, kámo. Ty píčo. Nebudu teďko asi úplně fokus, chlapi, sorry. Další mapa, tak 10 minut, kámo. Ty píčo, počkej, kámo. Počkej, kámo.
Tired of off-season blues once champs is over? Fear not, because Valorant is coming to the Esports Nations Cup, where players split from their clubs and compete for national pride. Will EMEA turn every round into a chess match? Is Brazil about to turn every map into ranked? Will Team USA ego peak every single angle? The final event of the year is not to be missed. Esports Nations Cup 2026. See you in November.
And here at Valorant Masters London, we've got Lewis, Noah, Ellis and Quinn. They are our new pop sensation, but they're not going to be singing for you today. They're going to be throwing balls, they're going to be throwing it down. This is a competition, guys.
Jsem potíru
You've got different colour balls in your hand and your job is to hit.
Potřebujeme, aby někdo přebral stream.
It's that simple, okay? We're slightly scarred every single time I say balls after the draw show with Nick yesterday. That's why Nick is not playing today. We've put him in the naughty corner. Okay, boys, who's going to be stepping up first? Come on then, Lewis. All right, yeah, there's a mark on the floor. Perfect, you hit it. You could do my job. Oh, straight in with the 70. Oh. Okay, that's borderline, I'm afraid, I think. That's slightly on red, but 70 points, not bad at all. Noah's conferring. We don't have time for this, Noah, come on. 40, yes. 40, that's 80. Oh, 120. Step forward, please, Ellis, with the yellow balls representing Vitality.
Henrik? Oh, no, the Henrik, kurva.
Talk to yourself into the red. Okay, step back, Ellis, it's okay. No one saw that except everyone here in this venue. Finally, Quinn stepping up. The big Sentinels fan.
Rynku chat, kurva.
Did what Sentinels couldn't and actually won something. Congratulations to Quinn. And I'm talking about 2026 then, not the past. So don't worry, we haven't forgotten Sentinels fans. So you guys have officially won some signatures. I've got 2 for NA and I've got 2 for Europe. So of course, Quinn, I know you'll be watching that one.
Ciao, Honza.
Quinn, a huge NA fan. Any other NA fans here? Ellis is like the most reluctant. You're the most British NA fan I've ever seen. And guys, there you go. You've got our European team signatures. Please, London, give it up for your non-pop group.
Když si to přišlo, jak mi šlo hrát Glorious? Co to je Glorious, kámo? Ty pičo, počkej, kámo. Ty piče, tě tady nemůže soustředit, ty kokoti, vole. Počkej, kámo, ty kokote. Kámo. To mi nemuseli psát, vole, takyhle věci do píči, když jsem na streamu.
Thank you so much.
Well, we finally get the match between NRG and LEV this season, and LEV prove again why they are the masters of Ascent.
Yeah, I said earlier if they didn't win that map, then I was gonna go home. So unfortunately, you're stuck with me for a little bit longer.
Chat, kurva, já se omlouvám, že se nebudu soustředit, jako kurva, on tady prostě...
Clearly a very dominant performance coming up from LEV's hand. You saw NRG trying to claw their way back into it, but overall, LEV showing why they're the kings of Ascent.
Já se poseru, vole.
To see, there was, it looked like a few new ideas, but overall a lot of the same kind of stuff. I was highlighting Neon going deep into middle. Forgotten that completely. It was actually in B main that he was dominating in this game, and then on the attack side as well, like some nice new ult strats that looked like. It looked like some fake ideas, and defense, it was all about those trap plays coming in. So many ideas that you got to keep track of, and NRG just couldn't. I think the NRG just, it's just not their map, but they still got...
Kámo, potřebuji někoho jeden stream do píči, kokoti. Ten se ti blbě, že nebude jako soustředit na hru. Nevím, jak moc vám chci líko, no prostě, kámo, dobrý zprávy mi tady chodí. Dobrý zprávy mi tady chodí, nevím, jestli nemám to říct, kokoti, vole.
never fails with a little bit of an Odin spam there. He got a great 3K at some point.
He was trying his best, yeah. I did say to keep an eye on that. Obviously, we know brawk for the Odin at this point, but the weapon diversity as well, I feel like is so important. And NRG usually utilize that very well. We did see Mada on the operator as well. A bit of a quieter map for him too, I want to say. But yeah, you could see the attempt to be able to try and shut Lev's aggression down.
Now there's a guy we
playing.
It was Sato on the Phoenix. So let's check out our Verizon high-speed moment where he aced.
Je tu mini na streamu?
Yeah, Sato was incredible. I mean, we hyped him up coming into this match, but I think this moment in particular, the amount of ultimates that he was able to get off on the Phoenix, I think it was 5 overall by the end, which is the equivalent of an ult every 4 rounds, by the way, which is realistically all you can ask for from your Phoenix.
Right now, for me, Sato is the main character of this event. He is the protagonist. He is fragging.
Small leak, come on.
He's doing everything. He is giving it to the fans. He's doing everything that I can ask for from a young player. He is filling this stadium with aura.
He was stood up before the match even started. Like, one started and he was like hyping the crowd up already before we even got into the map properly. So it's just really nice to see.
Yeah, I was worried almost. It was a little bit too soon. Round 1, you can't be standing up, but he proved us all wrong.
Yeah, and here, a head-to-head that we were asking for was the Sato versus Kicku. Unfortunately, Kicku was not playing like he did in that first series. I will give him some grace that it just felt like NRG weren't as good at this in this map. I think that they're not as comfortable on the ascent, and LEV are just, in my opinion...
Četám tady velké biznesy, jako musím řešit, kámo, asi hned, kurva.
I hope Kicku builds up that performance.
Jsem tady mysnul nějakou zprávu, že starou, ty píčo.
I don't know about this London buff. It's not
Kurva.
I think London needs to start giving him some of that energy. Now, we do have some questions, speaking of energy, for NRG. Let's have a quick chat with Coach Bonkar on the stage with Jen.
Kurva.
On fire, Neon on that opting duty. Big pain in the butt for you. What do you guys need to do for Lotus?
Jet.
We need to be a little bit more proud.
Užívejte si gameplay, já tady musím něco řešit teďko, kurva. Už mi někdo psal před 2 dníma chat, jsem zjistil a nějak jsem to přehlídl, kurva. Někdo velmi důležitý. A teďko se ke mně jakoby dobírá přes ostatní lidi. Takže jsem vlastně za kokota. Kurva, ale asi má velký zájem, když píše mi kámo po XDech přes nějakého člověka.
Will be a great win condition for NRG.
Yeah, I hope he's not kind of winding him up with that, because I really would like to see that triple sentinel composition, especially because we saw NRG tackle it so well against XLG the other day, and I think that coming into that, Lev must.
Ti můžu někomu napsat na Discord, aniž bych ho měl přidanýho?
Picked into this map, and we've spoken about how Lev have been playing similar things to what they played previously. I think a strength for them has been those trap plays, but what can they actually do
musím poslat friend request.
This triple set?
I mean, I do have a question for that. Yes, they beat XLG with that triple Sandy comp, but LEV is very different than XLG, especially in terms of that resilience.
Yeah, but they did admit that they copied the comp directly from XLG. I don't mind the fact that they're doing that because it's just a map that they're not.
Já jsem rád, že to mám tady na streamu zaznamenaný, ty kokote.
I would just love to see Chamber. Maybe a solo duelist comp like the Americans like to do. Viper and a Chamber would be my pick for them, but considering that they don't have too much time, it's a lot easier.
Mám napsat, kámo, aniž bych si ho přidal.
Who's playing this map really well right now? Let's look at who's got a bit of a gimmick composition. Gimmick, maybe the wrong word to use, but I still think it is a gimmick composition.
It is quite gimmicky. I mean, it's a composition that has been around for quite some time, but it's one of those ones where when you kind of figure out what people are doing, it's, yeah.
In my opinion, it's a checkmate composition. If you are playing against a team who doesn't understand the map so well, you immediately win. But NRG are not one of those teams. NRG have a fantastic record on this map, and they've shown that they can beat this composition before, so I expect them to take this map too.
Well, if you're gonna get a map too, that means we're gonna.
Kámo, já mám tady jako, vole, životní business do píči a nemůžu se na to soustředit.
Entirely surprised given how strong both these teams are coming into London.
Oh, we've been baited.
Yeah, we have been completely live. What did you say, Porkies? Something?
Yeah, Porkies. Owners telling Porkies. Neon on that Jet double duelist, very, very simple, easy to play composition. The kind of compositions we see a lot in APAC. It's very interesting for me because I really think that NRG's comp is the best one on this map by far, and I think that the double shooters comps should struggle. So I want to test my theory here and see if that is correct. I think that NRG will have no problems dealing with this double dive with the Viper and Vice on that defense.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the Leviathan starting on the attack here though is really good for them, having that double duelist, but then also having the Sky to be able to follow up with them. I think if you're a LEV fan, it's definitely a time to be excited, right? One map away from being able to make it to the playoffs, considering they were coming into this event as the dark horse.
That's right, but it sounds like both of you guys are predicting a full series, so we'll have to wait and see as we send it back to our casters, Mitch and Tom.
Well, it was a hot start from Sato on map 1 and from Leviathan in general in both halves. A 5-1 leg up to kick off each half of Ascent. That's going to be tough to replicate here on Lotus for a number of reasons, Tom. But certainly one of the big ones is NRG. They should come in here with the upper.
Sorry, Čet, jako jsem byl soustředěn na ten zápas, kámo, jak jsem se na ně těšil, ale vteřinku.
Life thing of bored men don't lie. I always thought that was something that we had to go by. Like, yeah, it's a very well-known saying. He went up onto that stage. He was like, I don't even want to give them 1 minute to think that we're changing everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and say we're still running the old comp. He even said we'll get revenge for XLG and then come in with a completely different comp. Love to see it. And giving them that little extra aggressive.
Chápeš, já jsem 2 dny ghostnul životní jakoby tady zprávu.
Not going to land those shots to start with, and it looked like Leviathan wanted to deal with Kicku, but it's not gone too well to start. That's a nice shot from Neon. 1v3. If he got that pickup, the spike could be back under his control, but now you can see NRG just looking to group up. They're not even going to take the fight anymore. They'll allow him a plant.
I got the spike.
All they need is the retake.
Yeah, you can see the doubt it's also caused. At this point, they could have grouped up and gone absolutely anywhere. They could have surrounded the B site waiting for his rotation. They could be sat in the spawn, and for Neon, it's like, I'd like to get this
Watchparty, kámo, v chatu si udělejte. Já tady musím, kámo, na telefonu, vole, řešit životní, kámo, zvraty.
Unfortunately, that puts him down to 29 HP. Kicku a little low, but they know now, especially with how tagged up he is, he has to be trying to look for a fight, has to be trying to force the issue a little bit. I like the reposition though, but even still, just the jump spot, the smoke, going to create an awkward angle for him. And although that time is ticking, it's not ticking anywhere near fast enough. Pistol round under the belt of NRG, and considering I don't think they won a single one in the last map, I think they'll be quite happy to get off to a good start here.
I don't think they won a single one in the last map either, Tom. Yeah, that 5-1 start was the ground shaking from Leviathan. Regardless of which half you talk about, but much more confidence from NRG. And this is something that they were denied when it came to Ascent in the entire first half, essentially, which was any sort of aggressive stance.
Let's run you guys days, bro. Please.
Every time that they looked to take those fights, you just had Leviathan sat waiting. And Ascent on a map that allows
Kurva, napište někdo Alešovi nebo někomu, ať dojde koukat za mě, volá, nevím, to je v píči.
So I'd have to change how they're playing, and well, that's always going to help NRG out with what we saw in the last.
Here goes the investment. The purchase down to give an outlaw to Neon, and it's now on the ground. And that is a pretty big problem, because it's not in the easiest spot to retrieve. Blows has managed to do so.
Ještě tady dojebávám, by the way, tady jenom potřebuji se joinnout nějaký Discord a nemůžu se na to joinout na tom telefonu skurveným, vole.
Sort of semblance of control. The problem though, of course, is going into their buy round, there's going to be some vulnerabilities, so dropping some weaponry is a must. Pushing into the C site setup of Scuba doesn't feel like the best way for things to go.
Well, the seaside setup of Scuba or the seaside setup of brawk, whichever one you want to go for. There's utility aplenty, a wall in their way, an orb right behind it, but this outlaw gives you so many chances in a round like this. Made it through the wall now, all 4. Making it to the backside, Ethan starts out very nicely. They won't force him into too uncomfortable of a position, at least I thought so, but Ethan's gone down. Sato found one with the Outlaw as well, and now you see the real potential of a round like this, avoiding the snake.
Kurva, já potřebuji full screen dát na chvilku, já to nemůžu najít na telefonu, kámo, a potřebuji někomu napsat. A nevidím ho v tom serveru, kámo. Vteřinku. Tak už mi napsal sám. No nic.
But for NRG, that was the minimum. They get home with the 3 rifles that they bought into this round. They get to come in with Marder being 1 away from having that showstopper available. And it means that this next round, even though it's not going to be the greatest of purchases and may have a pistol or 2 in the mix,
jsem napsal agence chat.
If they can get it online, could end up being very costly for Leviathan.
I do like the buy that Leviathan went for. I think coming in with an Outlaw, a Marshall as well on this map, so many long-range angles to take a fight on. Good chance NRG give you the fights, not expecting that. And the weakness you get here is Sheriff on King, but he shouldn't be taking a lot of fights early, so it's just fine.
He's very good with the Sheriff as well. That might help them out. Sato.
Ty jsi kokot, Pavlo. Jo, jaká je šance ty pičo, zrovna teď. Zrovna teď.
Unfortunately, I think he's firing blanks. None of those remaining bullets landing. Scuba on the other side, though. Heal will come in to at least make the players on the other side a little bit healthier. But again, even just a couple of guns dropped, forcing those repurchases. Of course, for now, Leviathan haven't actually lost any guns because Sato has just fallen into the hands of King.
And I love this freeze. I mean, they've normally seen these players on C and B anyways. And you got 3 kills towards the A site. So many teams would just run it in. And you could see the danger there with Scuba having spent this whole round just waiting in tree.
To bylo, kámo, jako čekal jsem, že se to bude dít, ale že se to bude dít zrovna tu jeden timing, kámo.
Scuba's caught out of position. Plant can come through now with, well, maybe not with the oh, okay.
I'm glad there was a lot more time on the clock. Because if that was a little bit later in the round, it could have been a travesty.
It's one of the harder skill checks in Valorant,
it
I have to say.
It's a very small button. Come on, it didn't matter at the end. It didn't even get planted in. It's going to come through after the round. Leviathan onto the board. A solid start for Neon. But I think it's something worth pointing out as well when talking about this Leviathan side. Like, a lot of the time with young, inexperienced teams, you do expect that. You expect people to just go, we've got 2-man advantage, run at them, just run them over, let's just destroy them. Whereas this team, even look back to the last map, they're very controlled when they have advantages. They're not like wasting those opportunities and not allowing for some of the clutches that we know NRG have the players to pull off. Showstopper available.
One down.
Not anymore.
Já budu muset zkontrolovat nějaký vodka, kámo, svoje.
So flawlessly for Leviathan to send Neon out, takes a fight against a 4-man A main push, gets one, and there's no follow-up. NRG falling a bit flat in that early round, and look, to anyone surprised, I guess you didn't watch the first map, it is a full freeze from Leviathan as they wait again for the aggression of NRG, catching it once more and finding a 5v3 advantage. The second that they get the upper hand, they force a mistake out of the other side. This is what they were doing on Ascent. And even now, in a 5v3, there's no semblance of taking a risk. They still want to see if NRG will give them a little bit more.
I think you take these teams, you remove all the names, remove the HUD, and you ask who is the champions winning side or the team maybe playing like it. And I think it's a tough question to answer. They're looking so controlled in the manner in which they play. Fact is though, a good read, right positioning for the remaining 3 players. They are walking into the stack up the spam, can't quite get too much, but now brawk is all the remains. He needs it.
Já se nebudu soustředit na nic takového.
Leviathan
jenom přemýšlím, kámo, tady na piče.
And now go 2-2.
Aleši, potřebuju záskok, kámo, na Watchparty. Mám tady, kámo,
starting this out, it's a ridiculous pickup. But the freeze
Mám ti poslat tu?
in the previous map.
Pošlu ti DMs, ok, Aleši.
The Skydog, and this is what I love about the composition. After those advantages are found, they group up a minute later. Skydog goes through, clears everything. You know you're not running into the stack, but then the Vice Wall actually...
Nejlíkuju nic, prosím, Alešku, jenom to. Ale přišly mi teďko kámo DMs a zjistil jsem, že 2 dny dozadu už jsem tu ty DMs dostal, jenom jsem čurák a neskontroloval jsem si kránky pořádně.
Definitely the moment to reassess this defensive side.
Yeah, and now as well, going into that Coinbase win condition, I think it was something that was talked about already by the coaching staff of Bonka, the fact that getting aggressive, not playing almost shy, was something that they wanted. You see it in this round, and ended up being more of a
Dost kontrola vodka, kámo,
something they
teď
need to
nedal
adapt
si.
to. Like the solo fight, maybe expecting that to be a little bit clearer for Mada to take. And Neon off to a flyer at the start. To be honest, maybe the pause could even just be...
Nevím, jak mám tady pustit stream, zároveň kámo, tady kontrolovat vodka, kámo. Za chvilku jsme zpátky u NRG, jdete se na druhý monitor zatím, vole.
Down in that academy system, the duelist was where he was truly terrifying.
And what is the adjustment from NRG, as you said, wanting to see them play a bit more confident, a bit more aggressive was part of what Bonkar was talking about. It certainly looks like this time they will be playing aggressive with that early peek coming out of brawk, but he's being shut down. Of course, this is a weak buy for NRG. It's where you're going to take risks. The C spot early was necessary so they could figure out whether to push up on B or not, but now, well, they know exactly where the hit's coming in, but dealing with it's a different story. Yes, there's a showstopper online, but unless we find ourselves in an advantageous spot.
Jaký mám zkontrolovat, kámo? Když vy je uslyšíte taky, jakoby?
Thus far, I would say that Sato has stolen the show of the superstar of Leviathan, but in this map it has been all Neon thus far. Lead looks like it's guaranteed, and for the defensive side, you kind of look at this and just, okay, I don't want to give the orbs over. Go down to the spike, maybe take some kills as you go. The blows, one of the few players that's actually close to his ultimate. Seems like he's the one maybe most likely to try and hunt this one down, pop flash out, but it has been avoided by Ethan. Of course, though, the weaponry is just not favored for him. On instead, they get pushed in and seeming like they're going to be cleaned up. A flawless round for Leviathan. No casualties felt. Orbs picked up as well. Now 4 of their 5 ults are online.
Sorry, že jako... Pušť si mám zvuk, kámo, sorry, kurva, jsem tady do píči prostě v tom, vole, v Discordech, ve vodkách. No jasně, potí, ty vole.
A better round for them for sure. I think an attempt from Leviathan to almost just break them an instant pop that didn't work out. With that operator, Odin, all the pieces of the puzzle, and most of the ultimates not being expended either for that defensive side. They put themselves in a pretty good position. Flash will leave Mada forced off the angle, but you see the immediate rotation coming out from Scuba to just support that. The door being broken as well, just giving them that avenue. Oh, the spams ready to go. already clearing out blows. It's a little bit tougher to do these spams nowadays, but I'm sure you're a big fan.
Absolutely. You love to see
No, že to mám tady monitoru, kámo.
then finding another on the operator just doubles down on the advantages. Another for Mada, finishing off Ethan's dinner, leaving Leviathan with nothing but breadcrumbs, and it's not going to look clean in any fight they take. Chance for it to be flawless, connected by brawk in the end. Another round for NRG, and well, that pause seems to have worked wonders.
Yeah, I think even just having the proper 4-buy though, having that operator in hand, unfortunately having the Odin, also making a big difference and just getting a lot of those opening duels in a lot less of a risky fashion, not having to take the deep control that we were seeing from them before.
There we go, boys. That's an evil villain laugh if ever I've heard one. Oh my. He knows he's the bad guy. Well, 4-3 for NRG. The lead has been reclaimed, but a full buy comes up on the other side still. Rifles hastening the pace towards this C site.
It's clearly the expectation.
Sorry, chat, teďko nevidíte nic, kámo.
Already looking to try and take the weaponry away with the steel garden. Spams for those close positions, and brawk just looking to try and retake that control. The problem is there's a player up top, but that player has no support. Neon did not expect anybody to be peeking that angle, but now the weapon's back. They'll find one in response.
Didn't expect him to be on the left there. The spams back from Leviathan.
Sorry, chat, kurva, to nemůžu teďko. Já jsem vypnout stream, kámo, na půl hoďky, vole, to tady vyřeším off stream, nebo vole, to přečkáte, kámo. Já se budu mít zaznamenaný tady, kámo, životní moves. Moje live reakce tady máte, kámo.
Stay with this two-man setup, and Leviathan don't know that they'll still run into numbers, but a 4v2, they can get through that smoke. They should be favored, and they've already gotten in. The Sky Flash works wonders. Boots on the ground, Scuba putting bodies on the ground till King answers up. But Ethan's not gone anywhere.
Parasociální rodina jste, chce tady vidět, jak to?
Baiting them in here is going to be important. Eventually, though, we'll stick that plant. Ultimate available, but finding a time to use it is difficult. As said, it's one of those slow burners.
Dělej si, co chceš.
When it's activated instead, he's going to go pushing, looking for Ethan, hoping that there's an isolated fight, but he still has no idea where Marder is. In fact, he's got his back turned to the enemy, expecting it to be main, expecting that push to come in the other direction, and it's because of the initial aggression that we've seen from Marder so much. But he was wrong in this case. It will be the lead being extended now for NRG.
Yeah, it's not a bad read.
Jako jsem chronicky online, kámo, 6 let v kuse, takže tohle je... Ty píčo, kámo, ale jakože... Huge, nesmím tohle to posrat, kámo.
Little delay in it, but that's fine. A 2-round gap now for the defensive side, and you know, dealing with that, no doubt you'd hope you'd have an easier round coming, but once again, those rifles come out from Leviathan. And once again, we see 5 players at the barrier. This will be a much more direct play towards the A site, but this time NRG are not only 3A, but 2 of them are sitting in tree. They're defending the Odin tooth and nail, and that's going to make this a real headache to not only take, but even to hold on to any...
Ticho, kámo.
Look after the MVP. Baiting out some of that utility. At least attempting to, but it hasn't really helped too much. Look how many players are here now, a 4th. Gonna try and make it a little bit easier. Neon had early lights out, but it's Kicku that goes through.
Já si nepamatuju, co jsem dělal, kámo, tady v tom vodku už, chápeš? To musím zkontrolovat, kámo. Já to musím zkontrolovat, chat, a tady prostě posílám kamaráde, vole, svoji životní práci, ty kokote. Sorry, chat, mám tady kontrolu vodko. Tady koukám, má kontrolu, co jsem tady dělal v tom vodku. Watchparty, kamaráde na NRG jak blázen, víš, tohleto. Tady koukám sám na sebe. Proto v tanks. Rinku chat. Ale jsi tu? Máš zkušenost, kamo, jak moc se na ty vodka dívají? Myslíš, že se ho pustí celý, nebo jenom pár kol prvních? Já tady tu hru, kámo, zrovna co chci poslat, vole, tak za začátku mám mega weak a i kom zvajezají střelecky, ale jakoby v druhé půlce koluju full, kámo, všechno. Ale legit, kámo, s teba pnu jak zmrt. Celý? Takže jedno za začátku je to na piču to vodko. Napiš mu, ať se koukne celý. Já mu jako pošlu jednou BO3 proti Dynasty. Aleši, posílám. A psal jsem mu, že potom je, že to je BO3, kámo, to jsou 4 hodiny záznamu. Takže když, kámo, bude chtít vidět víc, z něco recent, takže to projdu, kámo, něco mu pošlu dalšího, to je v pohodě, ne? On chce, mu je to jedno, mi psal, že mu mám poslat, co chci poslat, ať mu pošlu. Jako pošlu mu můj nejlepší oficiál, vidíš, jako nebudu se to. Nebudu skromnej, vole. Posílám mu. Ty píčo. Poslal jsem mu to, ty kokote. Tak můžeme koukat. Nebo jako, nevím, jestli se bude si chtít psát dál, pro mě půjde se koukat taky, vole. Osm 4, jo, NRG, samozřejmě jsem viděl každý kolo, to se neboj. Ještě musím tady druhému týpku, kterýmu jsem neodepsal, kámo, napsat. Ještě zvuky vám tady dám za chvilku.
Well and truly locked in for NRG. Another great paranoia coming out from Kicku. It's safe to say those assists are well deserved. They're trying to get that little bit more aggressive himself. And a second already guaranteed. In fact, the third will come his way as well. I think that's 3 kills, 2 assists, almost a perfect round for Kicku. And now 9-4 in the lead. I have to say I'm not too hopeful for a comeback in this one.
Yeah, losing both pistols already not a great sign, but you think back to the previous match.
Ještě jednou musím vyřešit chat.
Já
mám to mě fakt sere, to dělám teďko při takovém dobrým zápase, ale to nepočká, tohle to nepočká zrovna chat.
It looked like they had NRG's number. They shut down every piece of aggression at times just by standing in the open and taking a fight. And now things have changed completely. From a team that couldn't make a mistake to one that can connect around.
The kill distribution. Not normally the most exciting thing to talk about, but I think that's every single player in NRG with 10 kills. So there you go. It really has been a team performance.
Já to musím napsat, kámo, ještě dál. Pičo.
In this one, I'm not even sure that will be necessary. Now, Leviathan, they've got a good read here. 4 players on this side of the map. See, it's only the 2 kills, and already brawk has gone down. In fact, I think that's the realization for NRG that, okay, maybe there's a little bit more of a stack up than expected. Let's try and reset and maybe bait that rotation elsewhere.
Yeah, they want them to leave this C site, but Leviathan, full eco at this point. There's a good chance that they decide to stick around anyways, just play the retake, go down to the spike. If this squad goes elsewhere, better to catch them here. If they come, then gamble and potentially be.
Sorry, ještě musím tady. Já už pustím tady na screen, na telefonu to dělám.
It's not really a problem for Leviathan at the moment. They've got King covering off their back.
Kde jsem?
They've got Neon covering B. But that tells you that the numbers on site thinned out a little bit more. Sato spotted already. Up close to spike scene inside the smoke, 12 seconds. I mean, he could make this awkward if he drops the spike. And in fact, even that kill is going to do exactly that. The rifle picked back up, 7 seconds. Denying the plant here is all that it takes. But it lands on the floor anyways. And Leviathans start falling like flies. Kiko's triple seals the deal. Double digits for NRG.
Yeah, a couple of really big individual rounds from him. Back-to-back 3Ks moving him to the top of the board in the server, which is kind of surprising, considering how many big rounds we've seen across the board for the rest of the team, but these ones just as important. Of course, the other problem as well is you'd normally be talking about the damage, but they kept the 2 rifles, and with the lead that they have, it seems like NRG are more than happy to gamble this one a little bit. A win here, the map is over. Don't feel like Leviathan have it in them to turn the tide.
Budu muset vypnout ten stream na chvilku.
For me is the fact that Sato has been so quiet. He has been phenomenal all the way through the tournament so far.
Budu muset vypnout na chvilku stream asi, protože chce i nějaký víc recent one a já to musím projít, kámo. Nic, chlapi, vidíme se ještě na 3. mapě. A nebo na Kicku potom. Sorry, že to vypínám, ale toto je too much. A tady na streamu, kámo, to bude trvat strašně dlouho a podle mě není dobrý, abych to dělal pomalu, takže sorry chlapi, budu koukat on the side na NRG. Nečekal jsem, že to takhle na kombi. Zapnu trošku tak na třetí mapu, anebo na zelenej, až dohraju, OK? Pokecáme o tom zápase. Držte palce. Síha zatím. Kurva. Díky chlapi.
A big pickup by blows. There's no
See ya.
pressure anymore on Leviathan. It had to be NRG to make